everyone. We're back with a little bit of Haas stream here before my GP. Want to test it out a little bit. I've been messing around with Stayful Editor though for the last couple of days, and I think I'm gonna do a kind of funny one-shot potentially here, where I'm gonna make it so that you can upgrade basically infinitely for both me and the AI. Every upgrade takes 1 day. Every update barely costs anything. And I think that would be fun just to see where the teams stack up after a season. Maybe even up the experience gain so that every driver is maxed. That could be a bit funny too. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. We're going to continue where we left off. Last time around. 3 races. 3 no point positions. And hopefully can have a bit of a better go at it this time. I'd hope. If not, I'm going to be sad. Hello, Ninka. I'm just trying to make sure that the stream is functional. And then we'll get started. Yeah, it's really been a disaster class, unfortunately. Let us see here. Seems like everything's up and running. Yeah, the Stayful Editor, there's some fun stuff you can do there, but it's gonna require a lot of time just digging through to figure out where everything leads. I haven't figured out how to edit engines yet. That could also be fun. I'm doing good. I just had some sleeping issues last night, and I have power nap now for a few hours before this, so I should be okay. Hope everyone is doing well. But I think we're ready to get going with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here. And hopefully this will be better than, as I said, the current scenario. So both drives in Q2 should be doable. Both drives in Q3 should be doable. I did have a good quali last night. A bit lucky with the ramp flying, but if anyone is lucky with that, it's K-Mag. Hello, Steven. K-Mag with the win today, RL. That's all manifestos. That's gonna probably require the Aston. Sorry, not really Aston. Russell, Max crashing again. Perez and Alonso crashing potentially. K-Mag with lucky timing. So it's not impossible. The track evolution has been pretty insane this weekend, as we've seen. The times come a lot better the more rubber in the track went. So could have some surprising upsets here if they handle their tires right. Could be fun. But yeah, let's get to Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. I had a question I read before we started the stream today that Mr. Quali, your internet crashed. Wasn't too much action, but the times from run to run were drastically improving. Could also be rainy, indeed, so we'll see. If it's gonna be rain though, it's gonna be probably a very painful. So could be boring with rain, could be interesting. It'll depend on, you know, if they can overtake on a new surface, we'll see. But yeah, except for Leclerc's ballerina move, I don't think there was too many things happening during quali. There was some surprise potential knockouts because of the track evolution, but I think you should be good. Yeah, let's try and race a new project, Ola, and we can just stick with these paths. No big problem there. And let us get car set up for practice here. One of the more extreme ones in either direction. There we are. I think I have everything on the car, but knowing me, I'd like to just double check. We have the rear wing. Should have new underfloors coming in soon-ish. Another one. But the next underfloor we make, we definitely... Yeah, we forgot to get the extra set of suspension. I knew I'd forgotten something. There we go. Now they both have equal cars again. I hope Hamilton's bad luck doesn't translate. Yeah. I hope everyone has a bit more luck, but it should make for a bit more interesting race. Hamilton starting a bit further back. Russell starting next to Verstappen, I think. Close to him anyways. Verstappen starting a little bit back, so at least we're going to see a Red Bull charging through the field, unless it becomes rainy and We're probably still going to see it, but it's just going to be a bit slower. And I haven't actually checked the weather forecast, what it is right now. So we'll see how that goes. So for this, I want to check what tires the AI uses, because I had a question about that. So I'm just going to try and pay attention to that while we do it. Yeah, honestly, if we have the same kind of madness, it wouldn't be too bad. So Magnussen half a tenth, well, half a second behind, and Ella here 1.7. So she's 1.2 seconds slower than Magnussen in practice. So we're gonna have to have some work cut out for us there. Setup's looking good though. It's always nice. What can we change here? Probably not too much, honestly, just a slight nudge. This is a good chance for Alonso, though. You're not wrong. He is starting from row next to Checo. He could get an amazing start and just be able to hold him behind him, particularly if it's raining. Alonso wins if Max doesn't. Honestly, the thing is, since Max starting a bit further back today, it's going to be a bit more interesting, a bit more fun. So the AI used 2 softs per session. I'm just going to quickly note this down. Two sets of soft. And let's see what we get here in the second practice session. Alonso will be aiming to be P1 by first corner. I agree with that, for sure. Setups are good. Part confidence is good. Part knowledge is getting there.
Today we see the culmination.
And just a quick look here. We used another set of softs and another set of mediums. So I assume another set of softs and medium for hard for final practice. One set of softs, one set of medium. I think we can just run it as is without any problems. Yeah, that's looking good. Hamilton lacking a little bit of track knowledge there, but that's fine. And that's just the soft and hard run. So I probably remember this, but it's just been so long since I did this last. Yeah, this is what it usually does. The only time it deviates, as far as I've seen, is if you have rain during one of your practices. So it's good to know which practice uses medium, which practice uses the hard, because on certain tracks, is this one of them? I can't actually remember. Having an extra set of hards is actually a godsend. So I'm just going to quickly reply to DH. It was curious. There we are. I guess we can get into quali now, and by extension the race. Our car isn't actually that good, which kind of surprised me here. So I'm thinking what we might need to do here is allow one extra one extra tier of buildings every year. Say for the first year we only allow to tier 1, tier 2 second year, tier 3 third year, or even go harder than that. First year tier 1, second year tier 2, and then fourth year tier 3, sixth year tier 4, eighth year tier 8. Because I think the upgrades that the AI are doing to the wind tunnels, design floors, factories, things like that, are actually, with the restriction I have, allowing them to stay ahead of me, which is interesting. Williams Student Academy is off to a slow start, but you're getting there? Yeah, honestly, that's usually how it goes in Williams gameplay, particularly if you have lower rated drivers. But slow and steady wins the race. your 5-year plan will beat the Alpine's 5-year plan. Okay, so Magnussen 2/10 quicker. I assume we got impeded somehow. We'll see. This should still be, I think, enough to be through to 2. I wouldn't be too concerned. So we'll just speed things along here. Second season at Aston. Fernando's getting 7 results does in real life. Some massive upgrades. Vesty beat both Astons, damn. Hamilton, though, is kind of in a scary situation, but there's 3/10s down to these boys. And I don't see these 4 improving, so all 4 of these would have to improve to beat Hamilton out. So we're gonna gamble on him being safe here, but it's a pretty close field, all things considered.
Session is over.
Yeah, feel free to ask me about Baku tires, of course. The gaps between the tires, because the main reason why they have such a huge amount of time between them is because Baku is a really, really long lap. It's 140, 50, 47, 48, 50 lap time, which is almost double that some other places like Austria. So because of that, you get larger gaps between, say, softs, medium, hard. And for such a long lap, the degradation isn't too harsh. So you gain a lot on, say, the soft tire there, particularly. And I enjoy saving as many softs as I can, because it is Baku. There's usually safety cars. But I don't remember how well the other 2 perform. I just know that I love soft at Baku. So if you have any questions with that, feel free to just ask him, and I'll respond to the best of my ability. I don't think there's a mod like that, Maddie, but there is a 1991 mod. True. That's the thing is that the mediums with that time gain, like on Baku, the softs will be quicker than the mediums, equal mediums. Let's say that you go on soft, they go on mediums, you do it at the same time. Your softs will be quicker than their mediums for 15 laps. So even if you stretch those softs to, say, 20 laps, even more, you'll still have a time advantage, you'll still have a grip advantage. And that's actually pretty huge. Same with mediums there. So again, medium to hard, the degradation is fairly low for such a long lap time. And generally, the AI doesn't actually take full advantage of stuff too, which helps you out a lot. Magnussen is not safe. I don't think Hamilton is safe either, honestly. The Indy 500, I think that's a bit of a too much more of a wisher, honestly. But if you're interested, you could probably do that in Motorsport Manager. There's a ton of mods for that game, but it is a bit old. Doesn't really have a 3D view. That's a top-down view, kind of like this. I have to say, personally, I'm not too fond of Monaco. Thing is, there's just so few places you can actually overtake, which makes sense. But particularly with Haas, it's an extra pain, because if you do not pit out of sequence to everyone else, either a lap before or a lap later, you're going to get overtaken in the pit box, even if you have a perfect pit group, because we're at the box at the end, which sucks. Yeah. So as you can see there, with the with you having 6/10, oh, let's see, it can. Hamilton and Magnussen just barely make it into Q3 here. That's scary. Competitive performance for reference, yeah. You'd expect to be out on the softs to, again, about 25 laps maximum. So if you put around that 20-25 lap window, you still have gained over your full run versus the mediums. And it's going to be a bit rougher for the hards. Sorry, the medium to hards. But you'll still probably have gained if not run equal. So I'd say, again, just forget hards at Baku. The softs just aren't that good that you will gain so much time over those 15 laps, because again, it's not a huge amount of time, but usually you will be on fresher tires and the AI will be on older, and that 0.6 seconds can turn into 1, 2, 3 seconds, and if you time it well with a safety car, you have even more advantage. So it's basically just picking up a two moment. I prefer soft and medium, two stoppers. Shouldn't come as a surprise. I enjoy two stoppers more than one stoppers. Maybe not with this team though, because we're not having a good time with two stoppers because of our pit box location. But yeah. Generally, Baku yourselves will last the entire life cycle. You can put on some mediums, try and wait for a safety car. And again, 50 versus 100 smoothness isn't too much. It's just like 1 or 2 lap extra. So even if you had 100 smoothness, those softs would maximum last to 27, 28 laps before you needed to get the new ones. Verstappen a whole second ahead of us. Fair enough that we're using very old scrubs, but still. That's insane. And Verstappen and Leclerc with the same lap time. This is one of those tracks where we can use an extra set of softs and not really feel bad about it. 45-degree track temperature here. But as you can see, this is actually kind of interesting to watch it now in season 3 here. First to 8th is 4 tenths. And top 3 is just a few thousands. It's a bit silly. Okay. We have let go of the reins. Let's see where this quality takes us. Hamilton improved over Magnussen, but couldn't improve overall. So, didn't really need to waste those tires then, I guess. But it's okay. Again, we really are lacking in high-speed corners. We need to get our underfloor a little bit more onto that. That should fix a lot of our issues, honestly. So if I'm using this to help me, we have the qualifying result. We have what we expect from the AI. Most will be on a one-stopper, hard, medium, in some way or another. Some might start on the softs, then go hard and medium. And in terms of performance, yeah, in terms of performance, so you can see that the softs is still the same as Baku, as 400s degradation more than the mediums, but there's just 4 tenths different, even less than that. So again, it'll just take 10 laps here before the medium and the soft become about equal. And for the hard here, it's 300s degradation, 3 tenths starting difference. So within 10 laps, mediums will start losing out to hards. So having an extra set of hards here would actually be kind of good. Say if there's a safety car. So I probably should try and save a set of hards. Softs, not really the best thing here. Starting on hard maybe. Trying to hang on to Paris could be an idea. Going medium is also good. So I'm thinking what we do is probably the very, very standard one stopper, where we start on the hards. A bit boring maybe. But we start on the hards. And we go on the mediums towards the end. It's going to force us to do overtakes. Or we do it the other way around, where we start on the mediums and then go into the hards for the end. I think we're going to do them inverted. Like, see, Magnussen start 10th, we'll give him the hard. And as Hamilton starts 9th, we'll give him medium. See if he can make his way a little bit up the pack. And we'll overfuel him a little bit, because we do have a little bit extra tire wear. There's Jeddah, there's a street circuit. Well, kind of street circuit. And that should result in, potentially, a safety car. Let's get into it.
Cloudy skies tonight, with the drivers now having taken position on the grid.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. But I'm gonna gamble on Magnussen being able to defend his position somewhat. So we'll see how that plans out, if it's a good or a bad idea. Away we go. Already you can see that we had a bit of a bad start here with the gaps. And Ricciardo is already attacking Magnussen. He has medium tires. Most of the front runners have medium tires. So that's a good 50-50 here. There's no one that's off, meaning that everyone is just doing the one stop. So we could potentially make something happen here with, say, a safety car. Gonna be interesting. But for now, we mainly just want to, again, keep up with Paris ahead for Hamilton. And see exactly where we end up with the brake and the DRS train, because McLarens are quick. They'll probably be able to keep up with us somewhat. So we'll see exactly how that plays out for us. But with this said, I'm actually happy with just speeding things along a little bit here, because we have already gotten kind of a stable situation. It's just monitoring now, paying attention to what's going on. Bit of a gap for me between Magnussen and Norris. Magnussen lost out there in the corner though. We really need to get that cornering up for our own sake. Might need to slow Hamilton down a bit here so Magnussen doesn't fall too far behind.
DRS has been enabled.
Let's give him the neutral. Oh, we've had our first accident. Ocon in the wall. DRS disabled, safety car. And this is actually kind of what we want here for at least Magnussen. It'll allow him a little bit more on those hard tires.
We've had a big crash here.
Yep. Let's take a look at the replay. Okay, so there we have the Alpine.
So it took us 3 laps to get our first safety car. A bit too early for my taste.
A definite collision there. That's very unfortunate. The team are devastated.
So Ocon straight up out. Saves us a position. Bit of a gap here. Because we're going slow. That is fine. I'm just happy that the first crash of this stream wasn't us. For once. The rest fully charged. We can overcharge it. Technically it's going to hurt the durability a bit, but...
So safety car is in this lap.
Fine. Safety car in. Let's go neutral. Balance. Standard. Balance. Standard. We can push the fuel a bit with both of them.
You've got the margin to push. Copy.
And for Hamilton here, we're gonna go overtake. Second we get to the line.
Just push.
The same for Magnussen. Give them the opportunity to try and
We do not require
get something done here.
Copy.
Overtake is available.
They're running 3 wide, which leaves us very trapped. There's not a lot we can do when they're taking up the entire track. Looks like we might... nah, we got blocked in. The Hamilton was considering a move there on Paris. I think we're once again into that same old rhythm, so to speak. Oh, maybe. Mag gets a move done. Let's have him not cause problems for... Never mind, we're gonna have to go back to overtake.
Overtake is available.
Rick is coming back at us.
Copy.
But we will put him back to neutral just so
Keep at it.
he doesn't get too aggressive against Hamilton here. And Rick is still kind of fighting us. Yeah, Alpines have a good car, almost up in fourth. Kind of proves that. Bryce still holding out of our front. Actually gaining a sizable gap. quite a good run. We're gonna stick. Made it stick. Very good. Means we can now have Magnussen try and do the same. Oh, not over yet. He came back at us and retook the position, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we are getting into the, again, just stability area where we're kind of in a stable position during the race here. So we'll save some ERS for both our drivers. It's good to have, particularly if we say get a red flag, and just speed things a little bit up here. I don't think Rick has enough here to overtake Magnussen, but we'll see once DRS gets
DRS
activated.
enabled.
We have a yellow in sector 3.
Was that a lockup on the track?
Albon with a
Take
lockup.
a look now. Now watch this. Here's the moment involving Albon. It's a lockup.
No damage though, so he's good. We now have DRS, and this is going to be interesting. Russell has so far been detached from the top 4 train, which isn't good for us if we want to have any podium hopes. But it could give us some overtaking opportunities in the near future. We'll have to go all the way down to Stroll before we get off the DRS train, so this is from 5th to, well, 13th. And it's kind of surprising that they're actually still this close, but again, it's just 3 laps of racing, so shouldn't be that surprising, honestly. Sainz kind of leaving Verstappen behind is surprising, though, I'll be honest. Running same tire, so I assume Verstappen's engine is getting closer to kaput. Either that or Ferrari brought a super upgrade for this, because he's running 3/10 quicker and almost a full second quicker than us. As I said, we are not getting to the kind of slog, just where we need to just sit and bide our time. But now I'm going to burn a little bit extra fuel. Gonna stop when we're probably at 1 kilogram. That should give us enough to push in the final stint. But burning now to just push a little bit, see if we can get an opportunity somewhere, is acceptable from my point of view. Russell is maintaining that 2.5 second gap. Well, just jumped up to 3.5 seconds. Bit difficult. Australia, I don't remember how the tire degradation is there, unfortunately, Inke. I have considered making just a tire video, but basically some strategies you can consider against the AI on each track, with also what practice you should take control over to save optimal tires. But I don't remember them all in my head, and I unfortunately don't remember Australia. I guess Alonso is kind of doing a good job holding up both Leclerc and Verstappen here. Might need to try and have some moves being made here from Hamilton, maybe. Because we are entering the pit window, we have 3-4 laps left of these tires. Excuse me. Currently, though, again, our car isn't the best, even with Hamilton and Magnussen in the car. So we are going to need a bit of help here. Yeah, I've considered making it for quite a while. Alonso's actually pitting already. Is he pitting onto Haas to the end? He is. Which means that we should see some more pit stops this following lap. So potentially we could try and have Hamilton jump them. But if I pit now, I'm going to come out behind if anyone else in this train pits with us. But I think we can push a lap on the mediums here if the others peel into pit box. They did. A lot of them did. And we can go a bit aggressive now.
And let's push.
See if we can make something happen. We
Bottas
just
is in pit
stretch
lane.
these a lap or two further, which it's going to lose track position. But I think it might be worth it in the long run. So Sainz did come out ahead of Alonso. 12 seconds behind Leclerc. So again, he's just 6 seconds behind us. While having pitted. That is kind of insane. And I'm thinking that we are going to go just full attack here and pit this lap. It's a bit late, but it should still be okay. Also tune down fuel usage for Magnussen. Again, excuse me. And potentially we'll have to see if Magnussen can actually hold up the others here. Hamilton, the only one that is pitting this lap by looks of things. 3.4 second pit stop. That is very long. Are we coming out ahead of the gang? We did. That's actually huge that we got out ahead of them. Gonna push a little bit of fuel here. See if we can get some clean air. Detach it from the DRS train. That would be good for us, and we already have. Gonna get balanced on the fuel. Magnussen is getting overtaken fairly easily here, or not overtaken, actually just straight up getting left behind. Guess we could push a little bit of fuel, go a bit of deploy, and see if we can get back into the DRS train here. Because that would help our lap times, I would think. Doesn't look like we have the pace here. Oh, just as I say that, Magnus proves me wrong. That is a time-honored tradition, to be fair, that I get proven wrong. Hamilton, lap times 33.9. Currently not quicker than these boys here, Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc. But should be quick enough that when the rest pit, he'll be in a good position. I have not been to an F1 race. I live... Excuse me again. I live in northern Norway, so if I want to go to one, it's going to be extremely expensive. I'm going to need a flight from where I live to an airport that flies to any of the F1 races cities. And that flight is going to cost as much as, you know, the other one, because regional flights are just that expensive here. And generally, I just haven't had time for it. Really. Haven't been able to put value into it. Very intense underfloor upgrade to increase your expertise. I'm just imagining your engineers being sat down on the floor next to the underfloor. Inspect expertise. Extremely. But yeah, underfloor is vital. It is the #1 part of your car. And I think we'll be seeing that during this season, since I have unlimited underfloor upgrades now coming my way. Hamilton is closing down to cars ahead. It's actually running a bit slower now. Verstappen is still running safely up there, but Alonso got stuck in the rabble, so to speak. Magnussen, we are going to have to go just balanced now. We are going to be running these tires kind of into the ground. Although, we probably could, in a lap or two, pit him early. That could work. And for Hamilton there, we're still saving fuel so that we can push later. But again, ahead of us here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to have to pit, including Magnussen. And we gained almost a second on Leclerc last lap. 4/10 on Alonso. So, if things keep on going like this, we might have a fight towards the end of this race. That's going to be a bit entertaining. Excuse me. And as I said, we're probably going to jump Magnussen a bit early into the pits here. He would come out potentially at a Bottas or just behind him, maybe. More likely. And that should be okay by me, honestly. As long as that we have the tow from the cars in front, I don't really want to pit him, even though the tow is, you know, kind of tires that are the same as ours. So we'll see. He is almost losing the tow now, so after this lap we are going to be pitting. Get him up to those mediums to the end. And I don't want to push these tires because that's actually going to be kind of a risky moment. Now we do have Hamilton here on the backs of the others. We are going to have to make overtakes if we want to get further up the track. We have Leclerc, Norris, Vettel ahead of us. And looks like it's going to be difficult to pull off any overtakes here.
So we are low on battery at the moment.
Kind of just ended up burning all of my battery there. Magnussen in the pits. 3.2. Paris got out ahead of him, which makes sense. We have slow pit stops. Bottas is beating him, yeah. The fact that we couldn't latch onto Paris though is actually kind of disappointing. So we might need to help Magnussen to just get by Bottas.
We do not require any fuel left on.
Pretty quickly, yeah.
Copy.
And he still has DRS in front, so we'll have to pick our moment. I'm wondering if we can charge Hamilton. I think we should be okay.
Let's charge the pack.
Vettel isn't quick up front because he's running really old hards, so we could just save energy. It's a bit more of a passive approach, but it's going to still be hard to catch Alonso. So fighting for fifth is probably what we're going to end up doing, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Honestly, even use softs as this should be okay. They're still going to be really quick. Just remember, they are quicker for 15 laps. If you use them once during quali, that's 3 laps. So you still have 12 laps of top speed. If your safety car smiles upon you, you can still have a great one. There we go. Vettel and Hamilton did pit. Sorry, not Vettel and Hamilton. Vettel and Norris. Which leaves us fighting Leclerc here for 5th, most likely. So we're going to go neutral. And I don't know if we'll have the lap times to catch these boys. Maybe Russell? Well, Russell is going to have to pit, so he's gonna solve himself in that regard. But as long as Magnussen sticks here with Bottas and Perez, I'm actually kind of happy. That way we can make some moves a bit later. Don't like seeing this though. Hamilton almost left behind. Actually getting left behind. We're gonna have to push the fuel.
And think about less lifting coast.
Even with DRS, we're barely gaining. So I'm gonna have to push it for a couple of laps here. You're gonna send it? Go, Maggie. There you go. That's what we like to see.
Simply lovely.
Oh, we are really chasing him down, aren't we? Looks like Segnayo is ready to do a
I'll let you know
move.
if the situation changes.
We do have Bottas coming back at us here. I think we'll be safe. The situation's kind of stabilized there. We'll see if we can have Hamilton overtake Leclerc towards the end. We are burning a bit more tyre, but we have a little bit more tyre to go on. Magnussen, again, their job here is mainly just going to be stick to Paris. We still need a couple more underfloor upgrades to the floor before we can really start to compete for wins, I think. That brings me back to what I was saying in the start of the stream. I think it would be funny to use the Segment editor to make every upgrade take 1 day and cost nothing in terms of cost cap. and see if everyone ends up with equal cars by the end, or if it just doesn't work. The only one that benefits is the player. Of course, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to make manufacturing also super cheap. I think it would be fun just to see the effects over a season. Bottas is still kind of keeping up with us. Magnus is getting a run here on Paris. And Hamilton did get a run made on Leclerc.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
So it is looking good. Oh, Magnus just backed off there. I think we want to just balance our fuel for now. Or
Temp's just going to
let's just
coast.
stick to push for now, see if we can get away from Leclerc. And for Magnussen, we could potentially try and save a little bit of energy here towards the end. Excuse me, I just have a bit of a rough cough today. But honestly, I don't know why. Might be that I need to clean the house, maybe. I think it's fine. Doesn't look like we're really going to get away from Leclerc here, so we're just going to go balanced. That'll give us a bit of alternative towards the end. We still have a slight tire advantage. We have tire advantage against the cars in front as well. Lap times, gaining about 3/10. That is not sufficient with 7 seconds and 14 laps to go. Magnus, though, is really giving Perez a run here for his money. And unsurprisingly here, Leclerc kind of comes back at us.
Don't sweat it, Lewis. Don't sweat it.
But honestly, that's actually okay. We can just use overtake, save up some energy. Same here for actually Magnussen. We should have had both our boys try and harvest a little bit.
Copy.
Let's see if we can still stay within DRS. For Hamilton, this shouldn't be too much of a risk, but for Magnussen, Bottas could potentially get him while we do this. So we'll have to see. I think I am confident now with just speeding things up a little bit and getting ready to hit spacebar. I see something I don't like. Like our boys getting a little bit too far back. Hamilton gonna have to burn a little bit of fuel. There we are.
I think there's
Back
been
to
a
balance.
lockup.
A Stroll lockup. That sounds like a classic. Yeah, I think I would like a bit more energy, honestly. But just running them in neutral now towards the end here, they will slightly gain energy every lap. Because you usually gain a little bit more than you use while running neutral. So it'll be slight, it won't be a lot, but it might just be enough. Magnussen, again fighting Perez. Kinda good, honestly. But that means also we have a little bit extra fuel for him too towards the end here. As long as Hamilton sticks with Leclerc, we can on the either second to last lap or last lap just try and overtake. Well, start of last lap overtake before the timing line here. But we have had an overtake now from Hamilton.
Overtake there.
It's just 1.6 seconds. We could try and hold up and see if we can get Magnussen to fight Leclerc. But I think the risk is a bit too much for that, honestly. Gasly running P5, best of rest, given the cost at the Red Bull surprise. That sounds like a good idea, honestly.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
If you get an opportunity to just like pit into like behind you, get an opportunity to do a safe pit stop, you could try and take the advantage there, even without a safety car, and have some fresher tires behind. But in the case of a safety car, since you probably won't catch up to them anyways, with that one, you'll have to just make the decisions as you go. So we have now one longer DRS train, which is actually kind of bad for us because Hamilton is now behind Leclerc again. And Magnussen is also in it behind Paris. So this is not the optimal scenario, honestly, and got overtaken by Russell there as well.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
This is rough though, but Bottas has kind of been left behind. Might need to push Hamilton a little bit here, but again, the tires are getting lower here towards the end. Might see what we need to do here with, because Paris is probably going to eat up Leclerc. Russell is going to be a rough fight, no matter what we do here. And there we go. Paris has eaten up Leclerc. Hamilton is actually going to eaten up by Russell.
Mercedes moved up a place.
So we might need to just let Magnussen go here, actually, and have a go at it. Because at this stage, we're just gonna not have the times to find, and Paris has already run ahead. To be fair though, if these two keep on fighting, we might have a freebie. Let's have Hamilton push for last few laps here, and could have Magnussen do the same. But for now, I think it's fine for him to... Yeah, it's actually fine for him to go ahead, which he is. Good. We'll have him push his fuel. We'll try and take Leclerc and work from there. We have a safety car. That's probably going to be to the end, though. Unfortunately. Even if we pit, we will not be able to regain the position we lose by pitting. But we could have some
looks like quite a big accident.
silliness from the AI. Sainz and Verstappen, for instance, might do a pit stop here.
We've
No?
had a crash. Let's see what
Album with a
happened.
crash.
Now look at
Yeah.
this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved.
Same crash as Ocon. But again, our car isn't super quick right now, so this is probably where we should be. But again, once we get a couple more upgrades, it's going to be a bit easier. But this gives us opportunity to attack towards the end. So, it's going to be interesting to see how many laps we get now under safety car. No one pitted, which is sad for us. But even then, with full ERS, with extra energy, extra fuel, we can try and make a push here. Leclerc should be easily eatable for
lap.
Magnussen. 2 laps to go.
Let's push.
Copy that. And we'll push.
Magnussen basically about to eat the Ferrari's
We
tires.
do not require any fuel liftoff.
I would have preferred to get a little bit more energy, but can't cherry pick. We'll take the last corner here and see from there.
Okay, safety car is in pit entry.
See if that gives us a little bit extra. Because this is a recharge bar, we'd like it to be a little bit higher. Doesn't look like it though.
And recharge off when you're ready.
Yeah, copy.
The Ferrari got a good launch.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Bottas 2 got a good launch. And
2 more laps.
with 2 more laps to go, I'm thinking that we just run aggressive maybe to the end.
Prep ourselves for a push. Copy that.
And see if we maybe be able to pick up a couple of positions there, because we have Hamilton behind, and he's kind of playing God right now. And we need Magnussen to just immediately overtake Leclerc if we want Hamilton to fight him as well. But it is proving difficult. There'll also be no DRSs, so we have to use it with energy only. Let's have Hamilton deploy, so he doesn't get completely left behind. And to be fair, we are, once we get through the final corner here, we're probably just going to go full attack on the tires. We can actually just do it now. And same here for Hamilton. They are 40 though, so we want to be a little bit lighter on them.
Just push. Understood.
Gaining a slight amount here, but this is going to be enough.
Okay, final lap.
Not really, so we'll have to see here. Looks like we're going to have an Alonso podium though, unless Perez actually gets him here. Oh. I jinxed Alonso, I'm so sorry.
Sounds like there's been a crash. Here's the replay. Okay, so there we have the Alpine.
The second I set Alonso podium, this happens.
And that's it off.
Again, I really would want to just have a send it command, where just like give it everything you have. I did jinx him, which is unfortunate, yeah.
Back under control for the moment.
Got it.
To be fair though, we don't really need the tires to last any longer. It's the final lap. Could have Hamilton fighting me on the line. That would actually be kind of interesting.
Press overtake.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't think that safety car actually mess something up. 6 and 7 is probably acceptable for us, more or less. 7 and 8 would be 2. But it just be how it be. We don't have enough speed to get into the line, do we? Nah, we don't even have room. 6th and 7th, not the worst showing we've ever had. It's honestly just good to be back in the points after last time stream, which was a horrendous adventure. So with that, 1-3 for Red Bull, Ferrari 2 and 5, Merc 4 and 8. We have us 6 and 7. Norris scoring points for McLaren and Vettel scoring points for Alpha. And in the Driver Championship then, we are now 9th and 10th. Still pretty far behind Verstappen, but it is what it is. Constructors, that boosts us up to 6th. Could make the board a little bit more happier, equal with McLaren. Ferrari overtakes Alpine, because we jinxed Alonso, mainly. And again, Red Bull looks like they're going to be the team to beat here. Development point for Magnussen. We'd like to see that. And Ola has 1.66. So not the greatest development modifier, but it's not bad either. And we did fail the qualifying position and fastest lap, so gonna get some financial spank in there. Honestly, we might actually want to improve his control and accuracy. I think we need actually to just start working reactions, get these two up to 90, and then maybe start working these two. I think that is an acceptable premise, honestly. Difficult race, board is not happy with it, so are we gonna get fired here? Board confidence? They're still have high confidence. They're not happy because we're currently, you know, below our target. That is fine. Win the Constructors' Championship before 28. I think we can do that. Still have a lot of gameplay ahead of us for that. Suspension and underfloor both manufactured. We have a chassis in low stock. Honestly, we might as well just get an extra one. They take forever to manufacture, 10 days. Facility upgrade, CFD sim. Good. Let's see, do we want to upgrade anything else? Could upgrade suspension sim. It's cooling, you can see. I think for now we're just going to do internal CFD, and then maybe next year we up the limit once more to, say, level 3 buildings. I think that would be acceptable. I am going to refurbish the weather center though, because that thing is very important to us. So as you can see, our car currently is very bad in high-speed corners. 17th. Almost the worst on the grid. Same for engine cooling, but again, we don't care too much about that. We're about middle of the pack, honestly. So we're going to need some upgrades here to help us out. We have the underfloor coming in a month. We have the front wing in 18 days. And again, these upgrades are going to make life a lot easier for us. Thinking that we just barely make it into Q3. I guess qualifying position of one driver in the top 10 is acceptable for us. And we can gamble for fastest lap. We're going to do the same here. One driver, top 10. 5 races. Basically means that we get one driver into Q3 every time. With that, we can actually go to Australia. And I'll have a look in Inca on what we do in terms of strategy. Hello, Dari. How are you doing? We're just chilling a little bit before we get to a nice race. It's gonna be good, I hope. Let's see, 8, 13, 7, 3, 10, and 5. Not too many changes here. There we are. Car parts again, fresh. And just leave them in. And I don't remember if we want to save any particular tire. So we'll see how that goes. I'm doing okay. Just slept poorly last night, so my voice is slightly raspy and I'm coughing a little bit. But other than that, I'm good, honestly. And for once, we didn't have a disaster. We had an error-free race for both of our drivers. Ended up 6th and 7th. Not the greatest, but not completely terrible either. So I can live with that. Good set of confidence for both our drivers here. Meaning that we can just sim through it basically at this stage. Can have a quick look here at Hamilton's car. See if there's some, you know, glaring ones that we can fix. There is one. This might be decent then. And then we shall simulate the practice. 11th and 12th in practice. Okay. I'm getting worried that again the AI might just be building up the buildings, the facilities, and that's actually putting us more on the back foot here because we're actually getting kind of beat this season. Just straight up, we're getting outdeveloped, and that is actually interesting to see. So that might need to make the restrictions so that I can upgrade the buildings an extra tire either each year or every second year. We'll see. 8th and 13th, not the greatest again, but we'll take it. And we'll have light rain for the race. That's going to be fun. Car parts, engine is still okay to use, but we are going to start losing a little bit of performance probably during this race. I believe the threshold is 70% for the Merc engine. And if I'm not mistaken, we shouldn't have any rain for the qualifying sessions. Also being slightly in the way. Kind of what we expected it from practice. Like half a second ahead. I would say we're safe through to Q2 at least. Q3 is going to be a different beast. But I think I can understand. I can understand the development a little bit more now because I think whoever Q&A'd this probably used presets. And even with, particularly when the game first came out, just putting everything to the right was way more powerful than it is now. It's still really powerful. But if they use presets while they testing the game,
the end of the session.
I can understand why the design is as it is then. Hamilton 12th there. Bit of a risky one. which means we're probably going to have to use an extra set of tires to get through to Q3. Now though, do the first run on these, and we do want to save at least one set of softs for the race. Could be dry spots.
Radio's good.
I think we'll be okay. Quick look here, looks like everything is good. And let's just get both of these configured onto a new tire. Because as I said, we are going to have to do one more run in the fresh. Excuse me. Hamilton is already in danger. Magnus and a little bit safer, but still not, you know, proper safe. And again, only just a few hundreds up to Paris. That's actually kind of mad. I think we're setting them out in time. Might be a little bit slow, but I think it was okay. Let's see if we get both our boys through to Q3. Or we get unlucky. They're both out currently. Both made it in, just 9th to 10th. Kind of like we did last time. So we do need that next underfloor upgrade. It's going to be a huge help. Again, do the first run on scrubs. And then we do the final run on fresh. I'll have to go through this best strategy after. I don't get the strategy view, I believe, until after I've done quali. So it's a while ago, but we'll see if we agree on what we'd like to do for this track once I'm done with this Q3. I think this is one of those kind of difficult ones where the AI already has a really good strat. So we'll see. And we're also gonna have rain for the race itself, which might invalidate any, you know, decent strat, but we'll see. So I'll go over it once we get through quali here. I am still pretty sad about the Haas pit box. Yeah, we'll see if we can improve. We're currently 6/10 off. We beat out Paris. That surprises me. Both the drivers beat out Paris. Again, it's 4,000 up to Norris. Less than a tenth up to Verstappen and Russell. So this was actually pretty damn close. Hello, Doc.
Tension continues.
Dr. Ceratops. Yeah, let's have a quick look here on what we can expect. Medium to hard, most likely. Medium, hard, medium for those who are adventurers. Performance here. Soft tires are 5/10 quicker than the mediums, but the degradation is a whole 700s. So again, they won't last long before they start losing out. It's very, very short. Less than 10 laps. 6-7 laps, and then they start losing performance. Again, they don't last that long to begin with. Medium to hard is a different story. Mediums last about 15 laps before they start to lose time to the hards. So they're not bad. But even though there's a huge amount of time to be gained here, unless we have a safety car towards the end, I think I'd stay away from the softs. Or we get rain within the first 10 laps. I'd probably do a combination of medium and hard. One stopper potentially. Pit lane is, again, medium length, 25 seconds. Pit lanes are usually between 20 and 30. And that usually also has a big say on whether you do a one stopper or a two stopper. So let's see if we can put together a strategy here. So it's going to be raining at the end of the race. I would assume this is mostly just inters all the way there. And to get there, big question, could we get there on the hards? we could not. So doing a stint here, medium, to get there could work. Again, about 15 laps. This is where I start losing out the hards. This is where they start getting on the softs. I think this could work. We do medium, and then we finish off with an interset once the rain starts, and we just try and get ahead of the pit crew, ahead of the pit boys. I think this is the best strategy we can do with the current circumstances. If it wasn't for the rain, though, doing a two-stopper seems to be the quickest one. We can probably tweak this one a little bit. Again, lap 16 is not bad, but just stretching it out a little bit here could gain you a little bit of advantage. Same here for the other set. But again, the AI two-stopper is one of the better strategies here, I think. I don't think we can incorporate any soft into this without a safety car. So two-stopper, medium, hard, medium, probably what I would go for. If you think you're gonna get stuck in the midfield though, basically held up by other cars, it could be a double-edged sword, because you'll just get stuck. You can't take advantage of that extra pace. So depending on your car, let's say you're gonna be running a DRS train most likely, doing a one-stopper is probably your best bet. If you can run DRS train, then get out in maybe a clean air, you think, then this might be the better one. But again, it just depends on how your race goes, and that's kind of hard to predict. Yeah, we have our strategy. Gonna use it for both our drivers. Our fuel, well, a little extra we can, just 800 grams. And we'll put both the drivers to just straight up work from the get-go. We'll give him deploy. Probably give deploy here to how we'll do at the start. Might actually be the better one. Just deploy. Only starting straight. Yeah, I think this is okay. Car setups, looking good. Engine and gearbox are starting to get low, so we might have to change them after this race. We'll see. And just delegate them to practice use only.
Drivers have now taken position. Get ready for the Australian Grand Prix.
But yeah.
It's lights out and away we go.
Okay, so we have a Norris out of us, a Verstappen, Magnussen. Kind of getting on the grass there. Let's have Ham go overtake. Magnussen can go neutral for now,
Overtake will be available.
so we don't waste energy fighting amongst ourselves. I say as Magnussen just gets back on Hamilton immediately. This is a track though that it is kind of hard to overtake on before we get DRS. We have Paris behind. In terms of tires, everyone is on the mediums, except for Ocon, Schumacher, and Show. So, even tire battle, I guess. Gonna probably get a bit interesting here. Descending it, almost. I think again we're actually getting into already kind of a set pattern here, more or less. Hamilton has used a lot of ERS though, which could be bad. Paris is not really gaining too much on Magnussen, so we should be safe there. But I think it is okay for us to just turn into 4X here. It's going to be a long train. It doesn't look like anyone is particularly breaking free here. Norris might get left behind because we have a Verstappen to contend with ahead. But I'm hoping DRS will make it a bit easier on us.
DRS has been enabled.
Because Norris is very close to just get left behind. So we might have to use Magnussen's ERS to keep us in the fight here. Try and get Norris with the DRS, get Magnussen to use his to catch up, so to speak. Because the one thing we would really not like right now is getting dislodged from the train in front. Magnussen does have a lot of energy, so we could have him switch with Hamilton. I think we might just do that at this stage because 1.5 seconds already. So we're gonna give the order to Magnussen to just overtake. Hamilton is
available. Overtake available.
Gonna let him go, I think. Oh, never mind. Let's have them switch. Gonna hurt Hamilton quite a bit, but if we want to have any chance of sticking with the guys in front, we need Magnussen to get ahead of Norris here and just push. And then we're gonna have to try our best here to give Hamilton a chance here to, you know, flash onto the DRS train. Even then, I think we might be a bit late here.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
I'm worried that Magnussen just doesn't have the pace here to catch Sainz, I think. We'll see. They were close last lap, but that was with DRS. Now he's going to be without. Does not look very promising, I'll tell you that. So, by the looks of it, Norris has actually put us in kind of a conundrum. Because we can't hatch onto the DRS train in front. We are kind of running away from Gasly though. So we have our own little container unit back here. And I think I'm happy to just let things run their course at this point then. We'll try and get the first pit stop done. Get onto a new set of fresh mediums. Then work from there. Norris has re-overtaken Magnussen, which isn't that surprising. We might also need to work a little bit on our DRS. Top speed, because we are struggling even with DRS to overtake some of these guys. Like Hamilton was having a really hard time there. So we might need to, again, probably just 100% focus the underfloor this season. See where we end up. But I'm enjoying this. Like, we have Alpine's being competitive, Merck's competitive, Ferraris, Red Bulls, even McLaren's kind of being competitive. Even though we are 5 seconds behind. Gasly almost keeping up with the next train, so 11 laps in, front to back, 23 seconds. That's not too shabby. See, when we pit, we are going to come out at the back. Just no way around that. If we can get out ahead of Schumacher, that would be great. But it might be difficult. We'll see. We still have a couple of laps here to run before we pit. Pitting on lap 18, so I say we still have some time. Again, remember it's 25 seconds average time loss, and well, we don't have that gap down to show. As you can see, the McLaren is immediately coming back at us again. But we are going to speed things a little bit along here. We have Alonso and Verstappen pitting. I assume they're pitting for hard tires. They are. Oh. Oh no.
Let's have a look.
Oh
now,
no.
Focus on the Haas. Goodness me, that is a serious collision.
Me boys. Why must you do this to me? So Hamilton has minor damage from wing. Okay. Magnussen is still kind of running, even though he lost a bit of tire wear. Let's have him go aggressive. We'll have him hit second, I think. Hamilton is still kind of far back here. That sucks.
It looks like we've got damage.
I agree, Edster. I agree. And we even picked up a penalty. They would not listen to the Alpine argument for this one. So we're gonna pit Magnussen first here this lap. We're gonna serve penalty. We're not gonna pitch front wing. He doesn't need to. We are gonna get on the mediums. And with that, we can just full push to pit lane.
So box this lap.
That is
Box.
that is our luck, though, isn't it? That they spin into each other. I'll see where we actually come out. We probably come out behind, maybe even Gio. Magnussen came out in 18th, 40 seconds behind the leader. They still have to pit though, so technically we're 15 seconds maybe-ish behind, but still, it's not good. It's not good at all. Hamilton is gonna go for a full push lap after this one. And just try and get something out of those tires before the final one. Then we'll get him 2 on the mediums. I think we are just gonna change that front wing. And then we'll just have to gamble on a safety car,
So box.
unfortunately.
So this lap.
And just slow things down a little bit here, so I can confirm that it's indeed this disaster class. Let's just update it with the facts. Magnussen spun into Hamilton in Australia. And we actually got beaten there by Gio. Is this a revenge of the Giovinazzi? He should be on older... Well, he's actually on fresh hards, so... Should get him immediately here on the first DRS zone, I think. And as I said, we're just gonna have to see how this plays out for us. Because it's not gonna be good. Or it's gonna be even more disappointed. And that's our straight line speed with DRS. Hamilton could not overtake Giovinazzi. There we go, now we got him.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
So in terms of everyone who's pitted, top 5 has not. 6 has not either. Well, top 6 hasn't. Alonso Verstappen has pitted. A couple of cars in front of us here has pitted as well. So we'll see what happens here. Neither the Astons have pitted. Bottas actually pitting right now. So we're not getting Bottas, no chance. But we might get some of the others when they decide to, well, pit sooner or later. But yeah, I share your sentiment there with this eye. The last 5 races, we've had incidents in 4 of them. But this is the first incident where teammate has hit teammate though, so should I be happy with that? Magnussen did not get ahead of Gasly there either, so even more sadness. I should probably just push you. Science Russell pitting. Again, it's really, really weird one, honestly. Because the RS can only do so much. So let's recharge while pushing fuel, so we stick with them. Same here for Hamilton. And we'll try and push once we can. Alonso with a lockup. Not great for him. Kinda good for us. We are still far back, and most of the field has now pitted. We have Ocon not having pitted, Vettel not having pitted, and of course the 2 Astons, and we're still down 15-16. So we are going to have to do something magical when the rain starts. See if Magnussen can get Show and Gasly maybe. There we go, Magnussen got 1. We'll see if we can get Hamilton. There we go, we got both. That was beautiful. Magnussen just picked up 3 places. Start with this one. And then he gets the other 2 on the straight. Maybe we are not completely screwed. After all, I like to see the double overtake, but I guess I'm not allowed to. Let's tune down Hamilton before he uses up all his energy here. Again, Gasly should be a sitting duck on the straight, I think. And for the rain here that we're waiting for, it's around lap 35. So 6, 7 more laps. Let Hamilton push fuel. See if that gives him a little bit of nudge here that he needs to get Gasly. There we are. Right now, 11 and 12. Not great. Could have Hamilton further up if we hadn't changed that wing. But again, very early in the race. I think overall we lost more time not changing the wing. And everyone except for us are on the heavies, the Haas right now. And Ocon might actually end up pitting here before the rain. Because he's down to 44%. And Alfa Romeo actually overtook Hamilton again. I guess he is kind of a sitting duck without energy.
Will be light.
Having some light rain. I don't know if it will actually bring it high enough that we need inters. That's the thing. I really wish this would just tell me how many millimeters we're expecting.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
The fact that Gasly is fighting Hamilton in Haas versus Alpha is amazing to me. But we are going to need to just get a little bit of extra energy here for him, so he actually has something to fight with. I think that's why he's losing out. The second he runs out of energy, it just becomes the sitting duck. The question now is, do we gamble on getting, say, Magnussen in? It's still 2 minutes, so not this lap, but this next one. We are going to get Magnussen into the pit lane. We are going to get him on the inters. Gonna drop him to the back, but I think it might be worth it. And we'll let Hamilton run an extra lap here, so we can just run him aggressive. We can actually just run him full attack, because C2 will be pitting fairly soon. Rain has begun.
It looks like the rain maybe starts.
Could potentially have been good here to just get a double stopper. We'll see where we end up here when Magnussen comes out in just a second. There we go. Magnussen is now out, but the problem is he's got a lot of slow cars ahead of him. So we're just going to give him the order to immediately... Where is it? Driving clean air, because that should help with just getting the overtakes done. I kind of want to see this, though. Because Magnussen is now very, very close to cars in front. And everyone else is going to be pitting. We did get in early, but we are, as I said, getting held up here. Oh, come on, just go send it. Got 1, got 2 maybe. So yeah, it's still gonna suck quite a bit here because again we are getting held up by this gaggle. If we got Magnussen out before them, that would actually have been amazing. But we have a lot of people pitting. Perez, Bottas, and Leclerc has not pitted. They're gonna suffer out there for one more lap. Hamilton is now getting into the pit. But yeah, these guys just running double. If you overtake me with hards, I'm gonna be very upset. Hello, Ninka. Currently doing Australia. We have a bit of rain here, and Magnus is just getting completely held up by these cars. Look at this. Now we can turn off driving clean air. So Hamilton getting out here in 11th. And ahead of us, we have still 4 cars that have not pitted. But I don't think we are getting any of them, really. Maybe Perez and Ocon, potentially. But even that is going to be a bit of a gamble. But yeah, the fact that Magnussen got so extremely held up by those cars is very, very unfortunate.
You're looking good at the moment.
Because we did time it really, really well.
Haas with an overtake there.
So then we have Perez and Alonso. We have 2 of them pitting here. We are going to beat them out. For both our drivers, which is neat. But as you can see now, everyone's now in Inters. Magnussen didn't really gain anything by pitting a lap earlier. Kind of got stuffed there. So, other things that you missed, Ninka, we got some points in Jeddah. Actually, an uneventful race for us. Magnussen spun into Hamilton around lap 15 for this one. Got himself a penalty, damaged Hamilton's front wing, basically giving both of them penalties. And basically what I ended up with saying with the strategy, Nick, is probably the best strategy is the one the AI employ. Using medium, hard, medium. And then if there are safety cars towards the end, get on the softs. But it's also going to depend on if you can get that first pit stop into free air. Because if you're going to get stuck behind the others, like Magnussen did here, where he ended up running more than half a lap behind these 5 people here. Yeah, 2 stop at medium, hard, medium. Or medium, hard, medium, soft. Something like that. We'll see. It again depends on safety cars, the gaps you have. But the medium, hard, medium does seem to be the best strategy. And it's one the AI can also employ here. Okay, so this is going to be, once again, a pretty bad race. Would have thunk it. I have done a mistake in this one, though. I did kind of abuse the ERS too much. We should have had a little bit more of a reserve. It would have made our lives a bit easier. These will last to the end, but they'll be kind of abused.
For info, we are fuel limited.
We do have a lot of fuel, but I think that's fine. I don't think we can do anything with Gasly here. I don't think Magnussen is going to catch him. Yeah, we're running about equal lap times right now. Slightly quicker, but then again, it's about a 10th. We need 20 laps to make that work. That ain't gonna happen. So again, a pretty bad race. Mainly just because the teammates crashed into each other. We'll have to see if we can actually make something happen, but again, very, very doubtful. Can't really do anything with fuel. We could push tires a little bit, but we'd get eaten up by Perez, who's behind us. Kind of need the energy to defend, and even then, it's defensive a position that doesn't give points. So our only bet is trying to get Rick with Hamilton, and even that is kind of a long shot here because, again, lap times are very, very equal. So it is a bit unfortunate that we have another disaster class in the making, I think. Oh, Alonso out. That puts both our cars in the points.
We've just had a spin.
That is unfortunate for Alonso. He's having a disaster class then. My top 3 for the Miami GP. Honestly, I think both Red Bulls are going to make it in the top 3. unless we get rain or they have accidents, crash, something like that. Huge pit errors. And I think Alonso is just once again going to take the podium. He's a bit too happy currently to not think he has a chance of even potentially winning the GP. So it's going to be interesting though, because if Perez wins, we might actually have a genuine Red Bull fight. I'm jinxing it by putting in a title. To be fair though, I put it in the title because it happened. I upped the title as it crashed in frustration, to be honest here. So Magnus, we're going to give him the defend order, just full attack, protect your position, that sort of thing. Push what little fuel you have left.
Russell wins it. First
And Russell actually won. That's a bit surprising.
We have a checkered flag now.
Third for Verstappen.
There's a long way to
And Hamilton 8th, Magnus 10th. Very bad race for us, but again, his teammate crash. Nothing we can do about it, really. Russell winning for Mercedes, Bottas 4th, Sainz 2nd, Leclerc 5th, Verstappen 3rd, and we have Perez just outside the points. McLaren 6 and 7, pretty good showing. Gasly is 9th. About the first title. To be fair though, we didn't have any problems in Jeddah. We ended up, I think, 6th and 7th, which isn't great. But at the same time, we had no accidents, so I can't really complain on that front. Both our drivers lose position, unfortunately, in the championship. This is gonna be a bit difficult. Alonso is now 5th. He's had a couple of bad races. We're still where we are. Not really game. McLaren's now running away from us. Alpine didn't score points. We do want to be here for the board, so the board's not going to be happy. But yeah, Jeddah was actually incident free. And we just need to upgrade our cars. I think the AI facilities are getting to the point where the limitation I'm setting is actually making me lose ground with them, which is kind of amazing, honestly. I didn't think it would be just 3 seasons before we started to feel the sting. So, again, Hamilton has 98 control. He shouldn't have any issues. I think we put it into braking. And that should be acceptable. Regulation mode, minor technical changes for low speed or high speed. I don't want either of these, honestly. I guess we do high speed because we're already bad at it. That is what would benefit us most in this situation, especially if we stick with the no braking. The chassis we wanted has been manufactured. We have the next race in 14 days. Are we getting any car parts in that time? No, we're getting the front wing a day after. But I will go ahead and try and unjinx myself by updating the current title into something a bit more chill. A happy day in Emilia Romagna. I wonder if this will work for unjinxing ourselves, because again, it's just kind of funny, the problems that we've had. I believe Emilia Romagna is up next. We got the wind tunnel upgrade done. Very good. Board's not happy. Research is unlocked, but again, not something we will do. They did go for low speed. This is going to hurt us. Tiebreak even went for it as well. But that just means we need to, I guess, focus high speed now for the rest of the season. We do have decent low speed, so we're okay on that regard. And again, we're just going to be a bit passive here. One drive in the top 10. Let's gamble fastest lap. It's more fun that way. Let's head off to Emilia Romagna.
The hills of
do we
Tuscany are
need
green to the
here?
south, but here in Imola, the air is red.
Might just try and speed through this a little bit more than usual, because it would be fun to get Miami done just before the race starts. And Miami is, I believe, the race after, which would be good. Okay, 550, 46. We don't touch this one, but I'm a dummy, so I did anyways. And 6.5. This looks okay. Yes. And honestly, I still need to develop Magnussen a bit, even though probably should let him go. We are going to be using new gearboxes for this race, probably a new engine as well, to relegate this one to practice. And we don't have any new parts, we don't have anything else to do. We can just simulate the session and live happily ever after. I have a cheat sheet on the second monitor that I can pull up if I forget it. But at this stage, I can remember most of them. But I still do get them confused, which is why when I get uncertain, I usually just go, what is it that it's actually supposed to be? But again, they're not always accurate, as you can see here. Sometimes they do need a little bit of tweaking. Should be okay. It's a good baseline to work with, though. But the fact that they need a little bit of tweaking could also just straight up be me, again, being kind of forgetful. Okay, that hit Hamilton up to 99% and 94 for Magnussen, which means that we can just happily skip the final practice here. They should both be good. Hello, Modra. Modra? That big... I don't know how to pronounce your name, so just a big apology for me to begin with for probably butchering that all 7 ways to Sunday. And untested? That brings up to 100. If not, we can tweak it down. That said, we are going to put in a new engine for this quality. We are going to put in a new gearbox. And I think for the next couple of races here, we are going to be using the fresh components. So that if we have a bad quality, have an accident, we can just take the penalties and move on with extra components. It would be good. And I think we are ready. Just get into it then. I am happy I didn't completely butcher it.
Radio's good.
Okay, so this first quality shouldn't be an issue unless we get the block here. Looks like we're going to have a clear run to the end. I am kind of surprised that Magnussen is actually quicker than Hamilton. And has been basically for every single one of our qualies. He usually beats him out by about a 10th. This track does have a couple of low-speed corners that do benefit our current car. There are also a few high-speed sections. But I have to say, currently, it is looking good.
Okay, that is the end of the session.
That would actually make it into Q3. That is very, very good. Maybe we will have a good race here then. And as you can see, degradation is basically non-existent. 10% over 3 laps.
Radio check. Radio's good.
No blockage again, I think. Rick should be just far enough ahead. Yep. Hamilton still about a 10th behind. Let's just get you on fresh softs here because we're probably going to have to send you out again. Although I would love to save an extra set of softs for this race. Hello, Hector. Welcome to what I hope to be a happy day in Emilia Romagna. Because we had a pretty poor showing in Australia. Do we think he's gonna be safe, Hamilton? I think Magnussen might be. Basically, if we want to gamble. Yeah, we did sign Hamilton, and we did pick up his race engineer too. Again, it's very, very close here. So I think Hamilton we're gonna have to send out again. I think Magnussen should be okay. So it's gonna be a bit of a shame for Hamilton here, but Magnussen should be okay. We'll just try and be safe. Let us see if I put Magnussen in a really tough spot here. Okay, so Hamilton actually needed to do another run. But Magnussen will now have 2 sets of fresh for the race itself, which is awesome. And Hamilton will have a freshly used set to run with as well. To be fair, we got him on free transfer, both of them. We also, for Magnussen, nabbed GP as his race engineer. And I guess we got punished for that with some bad races last stream. It's season 3, which should be 24, 25. Unless my math is completely off. Got a little bit blockage here. You see by our very slow times, even if we are running older tires. Let's see how the Ferraris do on their home turf. Leclerc. That's actually super close. We're having a few of those. We had equal lap time a couple of races ago. Now we have 1,000 between the Ferraris. Yeah, it should be 24. Let's see if we can get a good quali here. Good starting point. Yeah, like the top 5 are all within a 1/10 of each other, so I'm very happy with how close the field is, honestly. But again, 2 tenths down to 9th. Next upgrade we get, we're actually going to be quite competitive. It's a shame that we couldn't eke out a little bit more here. A couple of tenths more and we would have been front line. Like, look at this. It's 3,000 to 2nd place. 4,000 from 1st to 3rd. Like, these boys are all within a 10th. Top 6. That's actually quite amazing.
It's time for the...
Okay, let's see what we want to do here in terms of strategy. So most likely they're going to be 1-stoppers here. Most of them. Those that start on the softs will do most likely 2-stopper. And the soft tires here are not very good, honestly. As you can see, the mediums get an advantage already after 300s. Less than a 10th, so 3 laps. 3 laps worth, and then the mediums are quicker. And the mediums hold an insane advantage over the hards. They'll be quicker for 30 laps, which is basically most of their lifetime. But doing 2-stoppers here, probably not the worst idea ever. It's just if we get stuck behind other cars after the first pit stop. It's a really long pit lane, 29 seconds. 50% chance of a safety car. With that in mind, we could try a 1-stopper, medium to hard. But then again, the hards are just so slow compared to everything else. But even here, this is supposedly slower than this. And even this. Mainly because of the pit lane. So we could do medium to hard. It's still going to be rough. We could start on the softs. We'd be a little bit competitive for the first few laps. Then we'd start losing out to any medium runners around us. We'd still be good against the hard runners. Yeah, going to be a bit of a rough one this to figure out what we want to do. Crew members look like twins. Yeah. They should have regenerated a few more phases, maybe. So either we start on the softs or we start on the mediums. We could do this reversely. That we go medium, medium, and then softs at the end. That'll give us more better gaps to fill into, which could help us. Let's see, like so. I think this is an okay idea. Again, it's gonna be slower, but it's gonna be slower than the one stops, mainly just because of pit lanes. So if we can take advantage of safety cars, that would be great. But I think this one is okay, honestly. It's either that or we do the we might do it for Magnussen, that we do the reverse here. We put him on the hard from the get-go, and then we switch to the mediums at the end. That could work for Magnussen, because he will have Hamilton in front, and Hamilton can act as a pulley. I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna put Magnussen on the one-hit wonder strategy, so to speak. Hello, Wipe. Italian Jesus has been yeeted, yeah. His contract ran out, and well, people wanted Hamilton, so we picked him up instead. And we also kidnapped Bono and GP. So we kidnapped a few race engineers. We kidnapped a high-profile driver. But we're not having a good time. Let's just put it like that. It's not been a couple of good races here. So for Magnussen here, we're just gonna actually have him run deploy from the get-go, and then we'll tune him down. And we'll see how this goes. This should be slower by I guess gonna see 8 seconds, but I still want to try it. I feel like it might be worth it. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I've been missing the racing personally, so gonna be interested to see how the mid-pack's gonna behave with Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton starting further back, and we'll see if Alonso will be super aggressive in that front row and actually just straight out take the lead first turn. Magnussen in 4-2 is going to be interesting to see how he holds up as well, yeah. I'm hoping he has a good race. Okay, lights out, away we go. Hamilton already making moves on Perez. Magnussen is losing out though, because again, hard tires. We are going to need him to actually get by the Gasly immediately.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
If you can. And we have some soft runners here. Rick, Albon, Stroll. Some hard runners. Mostly medium runners. So, again, I would like Magnussen past Gasly so we can just stick with Perez. It will make our life a little bit easier. Never say never. We can always hope for a Magnussen podium. Let's slow down a little bit here. Yeah, our car needs a bit more top speed. A bit more DRS top speed. Are we sending it into the corner? Very good, Magnussen. That's the kind of driving we would like to see. Alfa Romeo livery. It's not bad.
Okay, well done.
I don't know what I feel about the Red Bull's new livery this weekend. You want Alonso to keep getting third, making podium champion? Podium champion?
Alfa Romeo just
The fact that Gasly came back at him is a bit annoying, but nothing we can do about it. Honestly though, Alonso just fits nicely into the puzzle of Red Bull 1-2. Aston Martin podium. And I'm pretty sure that is actually driving both Ferrari and Merc kind of insane, that he just keeps on snatching up that final place on the podium. But if we see the Red Bulls have, you know, some incidents, some accidents, a bit of bad luck here, we could see an Alonso win. We could potentially also see a Magnussen podium. We'll see. Isn't that like the race starts in? Give me a check. Give me a check here. Give me a sec here. I need to check. Should be starting in about an hour-ish.
Currently P6.
Let's see. Race starts 21:30 according to Formula One website. So hour 40 minutes.
DRS has been enabled.
Does it start at 9? That's 21:30 for me. They put up the wrong time, I'm gonna be upset. Okay, good Edster. I got worried there for a second. Yeah, Max does start 9, so it's gonna be an interesting fight midfield. Alonso's making moves when I'm checking the schedule.
Awesome work, come on.
Sorry, Hamilton's making moves while I'm checking the schedule. We also want to make sure that we don't burn all of our energy here, because that is gonna come back to bite us. Is he actually getting the run on Verstappen too?
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
I want to have a quick look here on how we're looking in terms of the engines. So the Ferrari engines are taking damage. Everyone's engines, they are getting low, so we will probably have one more race. Miami might actually be the race that we win, because again, a lot of them have lower engines, and we will have at least one upgrade for Miami here. Unfortunately, Hamilton couldn't eke it out against Alonso there. Magnussen is still kind of stuck, but we also need to harvest because we are completely out of energy. That's probably why we lost the position again.
Copy.
So unfortunately, a bit of a shame there, Magnussen losing DRS. Could try and put him to neutral, see if he gets back into the DRS zone.
And recharge off when you're ready.
But it's still going to be a bit of a struggle, I think. Yeah, I think we agree then. That's on the race start.
Tires are getting hot.
Copy.
I have to get up early as well, Ninka, but I luckily had a forced power nap, so to speak. Tires are getting hot. 26 degrees on track. I really wish they would just tell us if it was to see which compound it was. That's also something that's kind of funny, because you can actually edit that in the save game editor. You can edit durability of your tires, you can edit their grip, which I found interesting. So you can that's a save game thing, not a game thing. Yeah, it's starting 21:30 for me too, Nanka. Magnus is doing okay right now, honestly. Hamilton too is just swell, recharging where he is. Nah, I think you're right. Don't worry about it. It should be in an hour, 1.5 hour basically. We're kind of scared of Russell behind here. He is kind of lurking, but I do also want to just recharge a little bit. I think I'm going to do it for Magnussen now too. That way we have something we can fight with.
Copy.
I still haven't actually checked the weather forecast for the Miami GP. Might just Google it quick now
Just be recharge
while
off whenever you're
they
ready.
drive.
Copy that.
Miami GP weather forecast. Let's see. Partly cloudy skies. 88°F. No idea what that is in Celsius. 10 to 50 miles per hour winds. Heading eastwards. So could be potentially some rain, a little bit of rain sputter, which is going to make it even more of a madness, but most likely not.
Lockup.
Norris with a lockup. Of course, when I turn away, something happens to Hamilton here.
So no need
Yeah.
to charge the pack.
Understood.
He should be able to close down the gap though, so
Recharge
now
up,
that he isn't recharging.
Copy that.
And again, Magnus is just sticking with them while he's running on the hard is going to be beneficial to us, like highly beneficial, so... Okay. I'm happy. It's a happy day in Emilia Romagna where the
That's the lockup.
errors don't count. Apparently. Very happy about that one. 31 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's gonna be hot. Rain in Miami, yeah. Thing is though, Miami is still very slippery. Since they, I think there's just been one other race between them
Just recharge off when you're ready.
basically fixing the track. Sorry, what's it called? They laid a new tarmac. And going offline is apparently very, very slippery. Imagine if it's raining as well. But to be fair, the rubbery part is also going to be just straight pain in that setting. I'm just hoping Leclerc can hold it on the track now. Like, if we get a red flag, I'm kind of feeling it's Leclerc being a bit too adventurous, unfortunately. Magnussen is now dropping back quite harshly, unfortunately, here after that lockup. 21-1 versus 23, so I don't think we're catching up even if we burn all of our ERS here. Although it is a gamble I'm willing to take. If they somehow get held up a little bit, that would be swell. This point in Sergeant's 20? Yeah. Third team I wouldn't race? Do you mean in the game? I'm a bit uncertain what you mean there, Doc. I mainly race with lower end teams on both streams and the series. I've done Williams, I've done Aston, done McLaren, and now I'm doing Haas. So it could be interesting to do something else again. The idea behind this game is that I add limitations to myself, things to slow myself down. And it has worked. Like, we're in season 3 here, we have Hamilton on our team, and we're just struggling to kind of keep up. Magnussen is struggling to catch Gasly, for instance, things like that. So, take it from that perspective, yeah. I probably could play with the higher end team. Do Alpha next? Alpha does have Bottas though, which is a beast. Give him a new underfloor and see him be a menace. But doing Alpha next could happen, yeah. But the next thing that I'm planning though is that is the Canada challenge that have been planning forever. As I said, I might do one-ups with save editor, like setting design time of all parts to a day, and seeing what happens to the cars. If everyone is just gonna have a supercar that's gonna break every record, for instance, that could be fun to see too. So I might use Alpha for something like that, or just do a normal playthrough later. Let's see if we have a Paris running wide. Limitation, can't have Bottas.
Someone's run wide.
I will never financially recover from this. I don't even know if they have enough money to fire Bottas from the get-go. Hamilton getting there, that's good. But we are now detached from Alonso. We do have ERS that we could deploy, although that too is kind of a gamble here. Alonso is running mediums, Leclerc is running hards, so maybe we can make this work, and maybe we can pull away from Verstappen. I might do a stream later on with them, to be fair. We did run out of energy though, that's my bad. Unfortunately, we did not make it into the RS range.
You have fastest lap.
We did get fastest lap though, so we can be happy with that.
So just charge that pack.
So yeah, we have charged a little bit. I need to try and retain the gap now.
Looks like quite a big accident, yeah.
Tsunoda has crashed. Is it a fatal
There's been a
crash?
Sounds like a single car. Let's take a look at
Okay,
the
safety
replay.
car crash?
Now let's look at this. The focus on Sonoda.
Potentially. But yeah, we'll definitely make more series for this once I get a bit more free time. It is a safety car. Okay, so Magnussen got held up, I think, because there's no way he actually took damage. Major damage. What did you do? I ask you all, what did Magnussen do? I didn't see anything happen. Did he crash after Tsunoda crashed? I guess we'll get a a review, but even so, we're gonna have to take him in on off the hards onto a new set of mediums, serve the penalty, get a new front wing. We're actually running out of those. At least he will be at the back of the pack, I guess. But even then, it's not great. We're gonna keep Hamilton out. It probably was the lockup, but looks like he hit the McLaren.
Let's see what happened there. Now look at this. Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
Oh yeah.
That's the contact.
That looks more like a red flag to me.
Chaos on the track.
He really did just send him flying. We're no longer having a happy day in Romagna. We need to update it. Magnussen is paying homage to Maldonado, I guess. Well, at least we didn't come out last. That's really the only positive I can bring out of that. How are we looking at catching up to the rest of the pack here? Let's just conserve for now. Harvest, we should be able to make it. That is actually negative for us though, because we had actually eked out a gap with Verstappen. We could still get good points with Ham. We could actually still get good points with Magnussen too. The rest of the pack has not pitted. And we will be pitting Magnussen onto maybe softs towards the end, or a new set of mediums later on. Could potentially have pitted Hamilton onto hards. But again, wouldn't have come out in a good spot. I think the problem that Magnus is going to be facing is that both Albon and Stroll have fresh mediums, and he's going to have to get by them probably before we get into DRS territory if I want to do overtakes. Hello, Davey. We've had a few bad races where, well, Magnussen has been the main perpetrator. Last race he spun, took out Hamilton himself, out of the points, almost.
Car is in
this race he torpedoed Ricciardo, and put himself at the back of the pack. Hamilton is doing good though, he's up in 5th.
Okay.
And
think about
gonna be
the
interesting to
safety
see if we can make something out of this then.
So pick up the pace. Pick up the pace.
So Hamilton, I think, is good. Again, Leclerc on the hards is ahead of us. We have Bottas, Sainz. As long as we can keep Verstappen behind, I think I'll be happy.
safety car in.
Yep.
Yeah, we last stream we had 3 races where we didn't get into the points in any because driver accidents. I might be gonna overtake a little bit too soon there.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Copy that.
Yeah, I went a little bit too soon on Magnussen.
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Copy that.
Let's see if we can make something out of this then. So Hamilton in 5th. Got Verstappen on his tail. Alonso, Leclerc and Bottas. Honestly, we don't really need to fight them. If we can just stick with them, that's acceptable too. But I really need Magnussen to overtake here. Really should just have him send it up the inside. Hamilton is still looking stable and okay, kind of running away from Verstappen here, which is great. It's amazing how unlucky Haas is. The thing is, the season before this, season 2, we might, if we weren't unlucky with Magnussen, he might actually have won the championship, which would have been amazing. At this stage, I think I'm fine with just tuning Hamilton down a tad. Another driver locked up. Looks like Ocon has locked up. Is falling down the
Here's
grid.
the replay. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon. Oh,
Does indeed look like Ocon. At least he didn't hit the wall.
oh, big lock up there.
And Magnussen here. Still can't get the moves done. Probably gonna have to start thinking about saving fuel. And Leclerc is almost getting detached by Sainz. Is a small concern of ours. But yeah, Magnus is just struggling to make overtakes currently. The RS train will go all the way up to Schumacher. I think Norris will immediately overtake Schumacher and run away though. Future world champion Magnussen. I'm looking forward to seeing Magnussen race today. He has once again a good starting position in 4th. So we'll see if he can make something out of it. There we go. Maybe getting one alpha? Nah. We need you to get some better reactions so you are more aggressive out of the corners. Well, not really more aggressive, just more efficient.
DRS enabled.
Yeah, shame it didn't stick. So the pit window has been entered here for Hamilton. We might stretch it by a lap or 2. Bit of a shame. If the safety car had come now, it would have been perfect. But then everyone else would have pitted too. As expected, Norris immediately overtook Schumacher, kind of running away there. It's going to be difficult for Magnussen to really get anything done here. Gonna need to probably just recharge him for a few laps. Then give him an overtake on the non-DRS section, see if we can make something happen. Alonso's getting up by now by Sainz, which isn't that surprising, honestly. Kind of what we expected. And Magnussen, Stroll, Albon fighting each other. New yellow flag. Tsunoda running wide, I think. Could run a couple laps on aggressive here for
Was that a lock up on the track?
Hamilton, see what he can do. Because the safety car, everyone is now bunched together. So when we pit, we're going to come out pretty far back. We could pit onto the hards here to the end, but even that would just also be kind of risky. Bottas did pit now, though. And we did get Albon with Magnussen. So as you can see, Bottas came out all the way in the back. It's going to be the same for us when we pit. So I want to kind of stretch it out a little bit longer. So then again, all these are on the hards. They're going to be running them down to nothing. So I think we go full on attack here. We try and pit this lap. The next set of mediums.
Haas with an overtake.
And for Magnussen, it could actually kind of be a roadblock that we might need. We'll see. Since everyone is pitting now, we could also get problems from that front. Okay, the other three did not pit. Magnussen with new fastest lap.
Well,
So he's getting back up there, but again, he's going to have to pit again. And Hamilton comes out in...
yeah, you passed. You're through.
behind Bottas. Maybe ahead of the Alpine, just barely. Nope.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Bit of a rough one then. In terms of intervals here for Hamilton, Alonso should be potentially easily overtaken, but a lot of these are on fresh tires again, so it's going to be a lot of fights incoming now to get back up. Because as I said, we need to pit again. We are going to have to recharge a little bit with Magnus in here. He's running out of energy. Hamilton has plenty of energy. Let's use some to get by Alonso. Try to get by Alonso at least. There we are. Doing down fuel usage. So now that should be simple. Bottas, Sainz are going to be the big ones to get by here. Magnus up to P6 now. Norris is next man ahead if we can catch up to him. But I assume these boys are going to run these pretty far down before they pit. Might even try and stay on them to the end of the race. And Hamilton is still slowly just trying to make his way up. Kind of a DRS kerfuffle here. Magnus, and we need to tune down. Thank you, David. Thought the exact same thing as me. Now, can he get Norris here? He's pretty close, but no cigar. Hamilton is actually kind of getting left behind here. I should have actually just pitted Hamilton earlier. That would have been way more beneficial to us. I waited too long. I was a bit too afraid of the gaps, and I should have jumped on the pit button before anyone else did. Kind of need to as Haas. To be fair, Hamilton is getting up here, but we are running medium tire. If we ran hard, it would actually be good. But I chose probably a bit too aggressive a strategy here. And it's gonna backfire. Magnus is gonna have to pit again because of the crash. Jesus is in the points. Yeah, Gio in 8th. It would be hilarious if Gio scores points there and we do not, to be fair. I think we can speed things up a little bit. Sainz, Albon, Bottas. Gio is actually the lead of the train right now.
Oh, there's a spin.
Magnus is just struggling to get by Vettel here. They have about equal, well, our tires are probably still slightly quicker. We're not at the 30 lap barrier just yet. There we go. We're finally through. Hamilton got Sainz. Now it's just Gio and Albon.
I think there's been a lockup.
Magnussen is slightly pushing ahead here, which we like to see. But we are, as I said, going to have to pit him. And honestly, we might just do it now. Give him a push lap here for yeah, and then we pit him. For his final pit stop. Going softs could be a thing, but again, 23 laps, it's just a bit too long. The mediums will do a better job. As you can see, the estimated pit position is all the way in the back. The save is pretty damn unlucky, yeah, I have to agree with you there. Did get out behind Perez, so not the worst positioning ever. Tsunoda holding up Perez would be good. We now have 20-ish laps to get it done with. And we'll see how that pans out for us. It's a Haas save. It comes with a bad luck modifier to begin with. Would not surprise me. I was afraid that we had another crash, but a lot of them are pitting, as you can see, which means that when we pit in a few laps time, we could have some benefits there. We can probably go aggressive for the rest of his stint. But yeah, they did pit. Magnus is now up in the points, so that is positive. There are a couple of soft runs here, Verstappen, Russell. Those softs are going to fall off way harder than our softs are. But the gap isn't big enough for us to really do anything with it.
That was a purple lap.
Just go full attack for the last 2 laps here on these tires. Honestly, if we can get by Alonso, just get a little bit more extra time, that would be good. Because we're going to, again, come out pretty far back.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Nursing these to the end probably wouldn't
We've
work
just
even
had a car
if
run
I
wide.
didn't push, to be fair. 17.4. Russell's running quicker. We are running quicker than a lot of the cars around us, which is good. The car's still just about the 5th best on the grid. We're waiting for a couple of upgrades, so we really are just a midfielder. We really don't have a super good car. Let's get in, get on the fresh softs here to the end.
I think we've had a car run wide.
And let's see where we actually come out here. Probably pretty far back. Not the worst window for us to come out in, honestly. Gives us some potential here. Magnussen in 8th. Fighting Perez. DRS is his alone. Yep, gets him. If we can catch up to Gasly, Leclerc, Sainz, that would be good. Again, they're on hards for the most part. We have a couple of soft runners. So we'll see here if Hamilton can actually make something out of this with this. We do also have a little bit of fuel that we can push. Once we need it for the overtakes. Right now, we're looking decent. Magnussen has also called forward up to Gasly. Should get him here with DRS. He did.
You have fastest lap.
Hamilton is getting fastest lap. I think we'll catch up to Norris and Verstappen before the end of this. We should. 16.6. 16.8. So they're also pretty quick. 17.3s. 17.6. I think we should be okay to catch Vettel and, as I said, Norris and Verstappen. Magnussen is pulling away from Gasly. Love to see that. Is he gaining on the Ferraris? He is. Gain a second on Sainz. 3/10 Leclerc. So if we can keep this up to the end, we might even fight for potential 4th. Maybe even a podium if we're lucky. But yeah, again, this car isn't that good. I think the AI has developed their buildings to the point where my limitations are actually giving them
Looks like quite a big accident, yeah.
Copy.
giving them potential for no one is stopping, so it should be a safety car. Giving them potential to actually be
Let's have a look.
out-developing me.
So this was the Aston Martin.
Because we were gaining in Season 2, and now we've been kind of losing out. So Hamilton is stuck behind Vettel. Let's give him an overtake.
Press.
And we
Overtake.
can probably push a little bit on fuel too. Need to get by Vettel pretty quick here if we are to fight Verstappen and Nando. Oh, Magnussen got a potential free Ferrari here in Leclerc. We'll see how that plays out.
Wide there.
Leclerc running
Take a
wide.
look now. Okay, here's the Ferrari. They go wide right off the racing line.
Okay, so he actually brake checked to some degree, Magnussen there. So we lost out to the guys in front.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
That's a bit unfortunate. Give him a bit extra push here, Magnussen. Probably won't get him this lap. Gonna have to go for next one, I think.
Got a car stop.
Got a car stopped on track. Okay. It's Bottas. Okay. Is this a safety car? No, it's not. He's back and moving, but I would assume that is a
We've just
busted
had a
front
crash
wing.
on the track. Let's take a closer look. Now we see Valtteri Bottas.
That is indeed a busted front wing. Magnussen, I think we give you... Do I want to overtake or do I want to just...
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Because I think Bottas is going to go for the
Copy
pits.
that.
So I'm considering that we harvest
Recharge on.
one lap,
Copy that.
and then we work from there. Can't really harvest with Hamilton here. I need to catch Norris and Verstappen. It's going to take me 4 laps to do.
and coast.
So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Magnus up into 5th now. But yeah, Leclerc has actually gotten away from us again here because of Bottas.
So Valtteri has now pitted.
Recharge off when you're ready.
That's actually really unlucky that Bottas not only crashed, but it gave Leclerc a bit of a gap. That is actually super annoying. You can even see it on time screen. Say we were doing 17s before this. Now that lap we did a 19. So we actually lost DRS to Leclerc because of Bottas. Oh, that is a bit of a shame. We aren't really there where we want to push tires just yet, but we kind of have to. Magnus's tires we can kind of push a little bit, but that would again be to just try and fight Leclerc. 4 laps to go. Hamilton is getting within DRS now. It'll just depend on if he can actually do anything with it. We don't really have energy, so I think we recharge. Recharge for a lap or 2 and then try and get these boys on the non-DRS straights. And for Magnussen here, again, I don't think we're closing down that 2.5 second gap. Oh, we have had another crash. Bottas is indeed back in Mercedes because we nabbed Hamilton. Ocon with a crash. Okay.
Okay, so there we have the Alpine. That crash is
Pretty straightforward. Same as Bottas. Okay. Magnussen looks safe, but he is still again 2.5 seconds behind. Hamilton is all the way up in here, so I think we recharge 1 more lap. Honestly, we probably need to stop working now on it. Give him aggressive as well. Just a couple of laps left to go.
So we are low on battery.
He actually spent his entire battery there.
Tires are getting hot.
Okay, copy. Nice work, Lewis. Just charge that pack.
Understood.
Yeah, what we want to do.
If we could have an overtake press.
I probably should have just kept the overtake there. We probably could have gotten him around the outside. Problem is, we still need some energy to protect on the straight, because otherwise we're just going to be a sitting duck. And that is a problem. Getting Gasly, though, would be nice, because then we'll have DRS on Verstappen. Because Verstappen actually has a gap now to Perez. Magnussen can just run his own race now. He's most likely going to come 5th, barring any accidents. So he's good. But I'm worried about Lewis here. Again, no energy. DRS is going to be the only saving grace that we have. And then we're gonna have to recharge here and probably try and make a move this corner here, this section. Try and get some energy, go full attack, push the tires all they're worth.
Keep the pressure on Lewis, you can do this.
Because Verstappen is on shadier tires than ours. If I push Magnussen, he might have caught Leclerc too. I should check tires a bit earlier. But this is where we want to try and just send it.
Overtake press.
The only chance we really have to get the overtake done before the end of the race.
Russell wins it! First over the line!
We do not have DRS though, or do we? No, we do not. We do, but so does Verstappen. That was close though at the end. Yeah, fifth for
we'll take it,
Magnussen.
mate.
Not the worst. Again,
Bailey.
we did lose a couple of seconds due to getting stuck behind Bottas with the damage. Gave Leclerc the window we needed to get away. But this is also with the crash there for Magnussen, so... decent result, we'll accept it. Russell wins yet another race. Alonso second. Third and fourth for the Ferraris. Sixth and seventh for the Red Bulls. 9 and 11 for the Alphas. Norris scoring points for McLaren. Driver Championship then. Magnussen moves up. Same for Hamilton. Russell now is the leader of the championship. And we move up to fifth. Remember, the ball wants us in third, so we still have some work ahead of us. Development point for Ulla. Pretty good. Did lose the fastest lap sponsorship there, but we live with it. We should have now a new car part, which is the front wing. Unfortunately, won't get the underfloor in time for Miami. Nothing we really can do about that. But we do get the front wing, and we should be able to develop that nicely. I think we are going to develop a rear wing as well now, because we do need some high-speed performance, and we need a little bit more acceleration and speed. And the rear wing is the best way to get that. Again, we're probably just going to have to double it over to make this happen. And as you can see, this is the part itself, how good it is compared to the others. So it's still a pretty bad rear wing, don't get me wrong. So we are going to have to do a couple of intensive runs on it to make it good. But that's all nice and good there. Manufactured front wings, let's make 6 of them. We'll have 3 for the race. We're gonna have to gamble on that being enough. That's kind of a risky gamble, but it's one that I'm willing to take here. Front wing is in low stock. Yeah, they've already destroyed 3 of them, so again, a risky gamble. If your period starts, again, that's gonna just be put back into the underfloor immediately. And as you can see, our car is pretty much midfield. We are very bad at medium and high speed, lacking top speed, lacking acceleration. So we're gonna need these upgrades to really have any chance, so to speak. Let's refurbish the team hub and the race sim. Get them back to experience gaining settings, so to speak. And once again, we're just gonna be passive. 1 driver top 10, and both drivers should still be able to reach Q2. Front wing won't be a huge upgrade, but it will still be a good one. So 1 driver top 10. And before I forget that we actually did make front wings, we're just going to go ahead here and put them back onto the onto the car. So we have the front wing here. It's a slight increase in, as you can see, high speed cornering. Very slight. It's again a very minor gain, but it is a gain, and that's what matters. It's kind of just a bit sad that it is as minor as it is there.
We're in the state of you.
Yeah, goal now will be to get the Miami Grand Prix for the save game done, and then I'm gonna go watch the race itself. It's gonna be a good day. Well, good evening, more like it. Let's get the used parts on the cars. Let's get our reserve driver in her seat. And just put it there. And the car setup, I think it's 9. It's high front wing at least. Kind of high rear wing. Okay. I think it's that. We'll see. I'm currently just slightly too lazy to look to my right at the cheat sheet. Car parts fitted. We have the front wings on. Guess we're ready for practice. Do I want to save an extra set of Haas for this race? I honestly don't remember what you want to save for this race in particular. Magnussen 8th. Ola 2.4 seconds behind, which isn't surprising again. Lower average driver. I see Rain there. 66. Okay, they bungled the setup even harder. try this, maybe. See how that plays out. Didn't bungle her setup. I'm tempted to go left here just to see if it's over here. Because if not, we know it's probably here, which will make it easy to guess. That's a pretty good practice. Third and fifth. 88 and 87 setup. Okay, so I'm a little bit off then in my memory. I wanted to challenge myself, like Ninka said, if I could actually remember them all. But I guess I'm not remembering Miami properly. Try that. I'm actually confused here. This is probably still going to be bad, but I'm willing to test it. Hamilton 5th, Magnussen 12th. Okay. Still lacking a little bit, and we are immediately starting on rain here for quali. Well, I can understand how we're lacking a little bit here because we're out of the bounds. That puts us in there. Just need to fix that optimal up there. And if I put you a little bit to the right, like so, it should be good. I should bring him close to maximum. And just a little bit of a tad over there. Let's get to the proper engines then. We're going to again use just a fresh engine, use the fresh gearbox. Also just going to use the fresh ERS one race here. Mainly just so that if we do take penalties at one point, let's say that we flunk out of a quali, starting back to begin with, we might as well just take all the penalties that we can for car parts. That is the idea behind it, so let's remember to get that engine too. And with that, we're actually ready for quali. Let's go.
Radio check, radio check.
Safety car is ready for problems here. So, rain-wise, it's going to get lower towards the end here. So potentially we could try a dry run if we see the need. But I think we'll be okay. We can probably do another run on these tires if we really, really want. But we'll see. Hamilton actually beat out Magnussen. I think that's the first time so far. Gonna quickly refill my cup while the rest of them run, because I think we are very, very safe right now.
So rain is clear.
Rain has cleared. That is a concern, because if they get a run in on the softs there at the end, we're gonna be... Those are inters, we're safe. Because it's getting dry, I don't think the inters are gonna get enough to beat us, even if they're like this.
Sounds like
I
someone's
hope.
gone wide there.
Yep, we're safe. That's actually really, really good quality. So this could be a good one for us. See, it starts on soft now. Let's get to it. And out Magnussen. And out Hamilton. And we're not getting rain for this quali, so it's pretty chill. We are getting a blockage in Leclerc for Magnussen. But judging by Russell's time, we're still safe. I didn't pay attention to Russell, though, if he got blocked. I'm kind of trying to blitz through this quali so we can... so that I can make it in time for the race, which probably isn't the best way to play the game, to be fair. Verstappen definitely got held up. Verstappen and Russell are both probably going to jump past us. Leclerc and Bottas maybe too. Gasly, Albon, Stroll, Norris. I'm gonna gamble on these 5 still being slower than us. Oh, Russell and Stroll. Leclerc. No, that's my bad. That doesn't bode well for Magnussen though. That is my fault. I should have sent him out again. He was in the risk zone. Ah, that's bad. Let's get him out there on the fresh soft in case it's rain. But yeah, I bungled that quali. It is not rain, so we switch him over to the other set. And then we have him do a run. Yeah, I might have made Magnus's life a bit painful here. That is a pretty close quali so far. Okay. I think Hamilton is still safe. Should be anyways. Let's see if he can improve from his current P9. And maybe make some problems for... Nah, we couldn't. For the Merc front row. Both though is still good. Mike's been on the team long enough, he knows the plan. 1 run only, yeah. To be fair though, he did get blocked a little bit there. I should send him out. He's gonna have his work cut out for him now. Compound performance here. Mediums are not good at all. To be fair, the only good tire is the hard, because degradation. It's 5/10 to... from soft to hard. And the degradation is 900 seconds, almost a 10th. So within 5 laps, 6 laps, the softs are going to be just as quick as the hards. And mediums, again, is just 1.5 tenths. So it's just 5 laps. And the mediums are also hards. I should have saved another set of hards here. That would have made life a lot easier. If I'm going to use a combination of medium and hard then, maybe a 2-stopper from that. Pit lane is... let's see, 2 stoppers is what we can expect. Pit lane is short-ish, not really short, rather than middle. For 24 seconds, 50% chance of safety car. So we want to avoid the softs here. 1 stopper. Kind of risky. Starting on the hards and going medium is probably not the worst idea ever here. Honestly. For Magnussen though, starting medium and going hard and then going medium at the end is probably gonna work pretty well. I'm thinking we do this. Because it's gonna be better than the soft strategy. He has mediums. Can try and make his way up the grid a little bit. Once we switch to hards, he's gonna fall off to the back, of course. And then we have a bit of a longer stint. And then we can work from there. Hamilton again. He is already up in the top 4. So as long as he sticks with them, I think we'll be good there as well. Overfueled by a lap. Hamilton, we're just going to give overtake. Push. Same here for Magnussen. I think we're ready. We could take penalties here for Magnussen, honestly. But I think we'll do it some other place.
I hope I'm not tempting fate here. And this is it. The Miami Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Nice out, away we go. Hamilton almost kind of looked like he was getting a good run there on the cars in front. Instead, the Alpine is going to make a run at him. We have some hard runners here. The Alpine actually got the job done. That's pretty good, Hector. Good job. We're confused. I did well. That's not supposed to happen. Magnussen made up a place. Hamilton lost a place. Not the best start we ever had. Come on, just send it, Maggie. We are not really good at acceleration though, so until we get DRS, we might actually be in a bit of trouble here on the straights, but looks like we're actually quicker than the Ferrari, which is a bit of a surprise. Just very slight, but we are gaining. Magnussen brave on the brakes there.
It's a good stint so far.
Indeed, a very good stint so far. Already gotten 2 positions.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Got plenty of energy. The only concern is, again, the top 3 are running away, leaving us stranded with Ocon. That's something we would try and avoid. But Magnus is getting the job work done here. But it's not really gaining on us in any capacity. I think the start at the back of Alonso. We now have both our drives behind an Alpine. Can they make a move here on the straight? It does look like we are gaining, but it's again very, very slight. I don't think Hamilton's going to be brave on the brakes. Magnussen might just do it again, though. Oh. A bit too brave, I guess. Basically came to a complete stop there for a second.
DRS has been enabled.
We don't want to waste all our energy, though, so we're going to tune it down. Try not allow DRS to do the job from here on out. Sorry if I hit my microphone. And I think with that, we're just going to speed things slightly up here. Currently, it's one long DRS train down the show. And we've had a crash.
Copy that.
Looks like Stroll. No.
Yellow flag
Gasly.
ahead. Yellow flag's ahead.
Copy that.
But he's back and running.
Here's the replay. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one.
I'm just happy he didn't take us out there. We were in the picture. Currently, we're kind of just chilling, honestly. Not much we can do. The only thing we could really try is regen energy for Hamilton. Same here really for Magnussen, but he's already kind of falling behind a bit. Same here with Hamilton. So, we're going to regen energy. I'm probably going to have to do it the slow way.
Understood.
Still need Magnus to get a bit closer before we can him harvest. Norris has now also been detached. Starting to see some holes form here in the snake, so to speak. I think we can speed it up a little bit again. Gonna go back to neutral here for Hamilton before he gets left behind.
Okay, that was a purple lap. I'll let you know if the situation changes.
Magnus actually pulling out a fastest lap here. Hamilton is playing with fire here, just barely within DRS. Same for Magnussen though. So we are kind of struggling, let's be honest. This is not going as well as I'd hoped. As long as the gap forms to the back here, we might be in a better position. But it is impressive that the entire top 10 is kind of just one long DRS train at the moment. Oh, is Alonso getting left behind? No, not really. We could try and start making moves with Hamilton, but if we do, Hamilton is actually kind of getting left behind here. But if we do, we're also gonna get in trouble from a different perspective. That would leave the others behind. Kind of like we have done Sainz now.
That is fastest lap.
Hamilton setting fastest lap to keep up with the rest of the pack. Interesting one. Yeah, currently we're just doing our best to try and stay on these guys, really. And even that is proving difficult. We are gaining some gaps down though to the rest of the pack. So if these gaps keep on widening, we might get Magnussen pitted and out ahead of show, which would be huge. Might also need to consider stop burning fuel, probably once we're at a half a kilo extra. Sainz is now getting left behind a bit. And Hamilton is still just kind of struggling, as I said, to keep up with the cars in front. Particularly now that Verstappen is up front and driving the show, gonna be a lot more rapid. So Magnussen, he's actually kind of snugly fitting in there between a lot of the other cars. Pit window in about 4 laps. 3 laps now. And we just need to keep an eye on Hamilton mainly here. I want him to stick with these lads for as long as possible. And for Magnussen here, the window is getting there where he might be able to pit and come out ahead of show. Gonna be a bit touch and go for that one. Perez has gotten through. Is he going to leave Sainz behind is a big question. We have our first set of pit stops here. So what I'm thinking is that we get Magnussen to just push. We get him in on those hards. And it should come out in clean air is what I'm hoping. And we're going to just have Hamilton stay out on these hards for as long as he can, really. We're the only one that pitted from this group. Probably not going to come out ahead of them, I think. Maybe. Just barely. 3.4 second stop time. Wish we could have a bit shorter one. But this does give Magnussen a lot of free air to just run in. Norris in 10th up there. The only other thing is if someone pits, because they will come out ahead of him. Just barely. So I guess we push fuel and see if we can gain a little bit on the guys in front. And potentially use him as a roadblock if need be. Hamilton is just still barely clinging on to the cars in front. Russell is going to have to pit soon. He is most likely on a one-stop. Magnussen is now 25 seconds, so he is gaining. 33.8 versus 34.7. A couple more laps like this, and he'll actually most likely jump out of the pit stop. Probably going to need to be within 20 seconds though, so 4 more laps. Russell will pit before that for sure. But Magnussen could do a huge job for us. Hamilton is still clinging on.
Looked like a clean lap there as well, mate.
Magnussen setting fastest lap, 33.7s, 34.9s, 35s. So yeah. Definitely putting his work in here. Goodbye, Hector. Hope you enjoy your dinner. I'm still going to run those tires down to 30, most likely, maybe. For Hamilton, we can actually push a little bit if we want to. We do have the tire where we can start getting left behind. Now within DRS of Norris, probably going to get him here on the straight for sure. Don't see us staying behind him for long. Or maybe we are going to be staying behind him for long. Which is actually going to be really negative for us. We don't really have energy to get by him. And we're already losing time to Verstappen by just being stuck behind it. Norris did run wide though there and let us go. Which is good. Not great, but good.
Someone's run wide.
When are you actually pitting, Russell? There we go. The other guys are pitting. Magnus should eat them handily. See what they pitted onto. Pitted onto hards. Then everyone is pitting onto hards here. So they are probably going to catch up to Magnussen. Most likely. But we use Magnussen as, again, a defense against the dark arts, so to speak. We can still make something out of this. Hamilton's still running with Verstappen and crew. I think we are going to get him in on the mediums now. There is a bit of a gap down here. Not a huge gap. Probably going to come out behind Magnussen and Russell. But I think it's going to be worth. We can go a full attack lap with push before that though. And Ocon, Verstappen pitting. And we're just going to have to push now. Everything we have. Try and get ahead of Bottas. And just push. Magnussen got out ahead Verstappen. So if we really want to now, we could try and hold the cars up back. But I don't know if that is worth it for us to do. Yeah. Merc is pitting too. He's going to come out ahead of us. That's the thing. Can we beat Paris though? We did. Out in 6th. Magnussen with Verstappen. If he can stick with Verstappen, that's going to be huge. Verstappen is on the mediums. If he's going to run those to the end, they're going to be shreds. So we are going to be stopping again with both Magnussen and also Hamilton. And Bottas has gone on the medium. Russell had gone on the hards. So this far in, Magnus has actually had a pretty good run. Now the question is if Hamilton can replicate it, and of course, how long can Magnus stay with Verstappen? DRS is going to be crucial here for us.
fastest lap.
Hamilton setting fastest lap is good to see. And as I said, how long we can stick with Verstappen is going to be the key here for Magnussen's race. And if we can pull away from Bottas, that would actually be really, really helpful, but I don't think that one is happening. Yeah, Magnussen is getting detached. We do have a little bit of oil that we can use. I used a bit too much deploy.
Copy that.
We are within DRS now, but again, we probably won't be able to keep it up. So we could get Russell by, for instance, have him pull us along. That would probably be better. So we're just gonna sit here, allow him to overtake us in the DRS now. Maybe. Maybe not. But yeah, Verstappen is going to run away. Nothing we can do about that. We don't have the tires to really fight anyone around us right now. So we're just going to speed things up a little bit.
Race position gained for Mercedes. Haas with an overtake.
Magnussen is still doing like a good job of holding out up front there. Don't get me wrong.
It's a race position,
but I'm wondering now if Russell
for
can actually
Mercedes.
catch Verstappen. But it looks like that is just not happening. 4/10 difference that last lap. Verstappen is just a beast in this game. Hamilton is also catching up to this group here in front of us. And in terms of pit stops, it's going to be out behind Alonso. So it's going to be rough for both our drivers once we actually do that final pit stop.
Is that a new race position?
But it's also going to slow them down a bit because, again, their tires are getting older. Ocon, Bottas, Sainz should all have to pit with us. That's going to be good. Hello, Razak. Hope you have a great day too. We've still had some disasters today, so not the best. Hopefully we can maybe snatch a podium here in Miami, before Miami. Gonna be interested to see how K-Mag does in the real race, but so far he's doing well. Up in second. Verstappen though is just running away. Probably what we're gonna see with Paris today. So gonna be interesting for sure.
Moved up a place.
And you're thinking we save a little bit here, but now we can actually have Magnussen just go full on attack. When we pit here now, 9 seconds, we are gonna come out probably behind Alonso. We're actually guaranteed to come out behind Alonso. But they're gonna be old Haas, they're gonna be old mediums. If these go 15 more laps, they're gonna be shredded. So that is the goal. It would also be great, honestly, if Paris wins this one, because then we'll actually have like an inter-team fight of some sort. We haven't had a lot of those lately. But if Paris is actually going to take the fight to Verstappen, I'm all for it. It's going to be fun to watch. Have Hamilton go full push now too. He'll do a push lap. Verstappen is pitting, kind of what we expected. We're also pitting. So I'm going to need Hamilton here to just push everything he has. Because we are going to get overtaken by... Oh, we actually got out ahead of Bottas. That is great. I didn't expect that to really happen. Because usually we get screwed by the fact that our pit box is last. But yeah, that does make life a little bit easier. We have 2 people ahead of us now with fresh tires. Again, surprised that he actually pitted. I didn't think he would do that. And I'm curious what we come out now with Hamilton, honestly. If we can get out ahead of Ocon, that would be amazing, but I kind of doubt that. Maybe? No, we came out behind Ocon. Ocon is going to be someone we are going to have to overtake, though, because he is... we actually held up Magnussen, too. That's really unfortunate, honestly. But we are going to have to overtake Ocon and then hunt down the others. I don't know how much we can do with that one. And Hamilton got it done. Can Magnussen get it done too? Let's push his fuel.
Last lap was a purple lap. We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Copy that.
He is fighting back though, so this is going to get a bit interesting. He did get it back. That is unfortunate. Put him on ballast for now. Again, we do need to get by Ocon. We are to fight the others. Hamilton got him, but again, can we actually keep our position ahead?
Haas with an overtake there.
That's going to be the big one. I have to give Magnussen a little bit of overtake here. But Ocon just gets us back immediately, which is annoying.
From Alpine.
We are getting close to Alonso, Perez, Leclerc. So I might just want to recharge a bit, honestly. And Magnussen save a little bit of fuel.
Have a liftoff.
Charges that battery.
Copy that.
Do the same here for Hamilton. Because, as I said, we are catching up to the train in front, and that is the train that goes up to the podium. If we have energy, we could potentially pull away from him. We are just falling very quickly behind, though, every time we do. This is gonna be rough. It's just a long train. If Ocon wasn't in the way, this would actually be a lot easier. So we'll see now. We have Alonso ahead of us. Magnussen is good. Go balance fuel here on Hamilton. Should probably give Magnussen the go here. Go ahead to try and attack. So I'm a bit unsure how I want to play this. That actually works if Magnussen gets by. And he did not. Let's have Hamilton try to overtake into this next section. I don't get why you don't just challenge that. So much free space. There we go. Get a bit of a run.
This is awesome work, Lewis. Come on.
Magnussen a bit of a go. Of course. I don't get why you just brake and let him go. Like,
Glazing.
we are losing. You're not wrong. Let teammate go. course, you just brake right before the straight. I'm never using that command again. That's painful. The fact that he just basically stops like he's getting blue flagged. To be fair, that was a disaster of my own making. I can't even be too mad at that. Let's just burn all that energy to try and get by the Ferrari.
So we are low on battery at the moment.
Okay.
Hamilton just avoids fights in this game. I don't get it.
Well done.
He lets cars go. Like he's already done it again. He was on the inside. Let
Haas with an
times go. Fall back to over a second there on the main straight.
6 laps remaining. 6 laps.
It's just so annoying that they do it like that. But Magnussen has made his way up. Paris and Ocon now, only those two ahead.
Update on liftoff. We do require fuel liftoff.
Copy that.
I guess I should just focus on Magnussen. I don't know what's
Hamilton, recharge on, please.
up with Hamilton. He just isn't making the attacks that I want him to, and Magnussen just makes some of these. Tire-wise, we could probably start burning a bit too for Hamilton. That probably signs some Bottas again. I'm saying that I probably shouldn't let Magnussen by, but immediately he gets 2 positions. So I don't know. It's a difficult one. We have Hamilton charge. What happens with him then?
Caution on the battery.
Copy.
Fantastic work.
I think we would have been in DRS range if Magnussen was ahead. Honestly.
That's a new race
Which
position
is
for
sad, honestly.
5 laps remaining.
Because you'd expect Hamilton to just straight up be better. He has better overtaking stats, but he just doesn't do overtakes. Yellow in sector 1. I don't think we're going to catch Ocon. He's just quicker than us.
Sounds like there's been a crash.
Bad little bit of crash, okay.
Yellow flag.
Honestly,
ahead.
it's just in the game that I'm upset. Hamilton is one of the world's best drivers in reality. Which is probably why my disappointment gets augmented. Because you expect him to, you know, easily make the moves. And he just isn't able to. And then you have Magnussen just make them with ease, while you're not even trying. That could have been good. Thinking on this next one, we are going to have to try and get the overtake done. And again, Magnussen just isn't going to be able to catch Ocon. He's just a bit too quick. With DRS, we might have had the chance. I don't want to burn all the energy here.
Overtake is available.
Four more laps.
Fact is, we're even struggling with about a bit of fuel here.
And think about increasing the lift and coast just a little. And think about less
Well,
lift and coast.
Fourth for K-Mag, potentially. Sign of things to come in the race itself. Would be amazing if it did. But yeah. I wouldn't understand if it was if I could actually find a stat that said like getting used to the car, so to speak. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't think that stat exists.
Overtake.
when I went digging.
Yep.
There is a stat for rivalries, but I've never seen it be used, so hopefully it'll get implemented in next year's edition. Yeah, a couple of laps there to go. Let's see if we can have a fight here with Ferrari. Same kind of tires. Alonso's tires are kind of gone. We're just going to go aggressive on ours.
And let's push.
Understood.
Couldn't really get the move done.
Three more laps.
Copy.
Like, he sends it, but it doesn't turn into anything. And my apologies for being a bit complaining right now. It's mostly just me being disappointed. The fact that Bottas and Sainz have no chance of getting Alonso, Leclerc, and Perez is kind of amazing. We could probably have Magnussen go full attack, but that would be risking a full place, and again, 2.5 seconds is not gonna make that up with full attack.
Overtake press. Overtake press.
Understood.
Probably need a bit more energy.
2 more laps.
I think we're just gonna speed it up here. I don't think we're gonna, unfortunately, get anything done with Hamilton. It's my fault for using the don't-fight teammate. I should have just had Magnussen fight him normally. But I did want to try and get some work done. It is, as I said, a bit unfortunate. 4th place, though, is not something we would necessarily be too annoyed about. But at the same time, we would have been hoping for better. I will give Hamilton a chance to attack her on the final straight again. Don't know if it will be able to get anything out of it, though. So Verstappen won. Ocon has now fastest lap. And as I said, because we don't have the energy, probably won't be able to get anything out of it.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
Someone locked up. Oh, a Ferrari.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
That's unfortunate from Leclerc.
Few more points.
We'll take that.
Get a few free
Fail
points
84,
from
please,
that.
mate. Fail 84.
Well, 1 extra free point. But we'll take it. We'll graciously take that. Again, bit of a bad move there for me with Hamilton. Kind of screwing him over. Get frustrated that as his inability to pass, unfortunately. Magnus 4th, Red Bull 1 and 5, Mercedes 2nd and 7th. We have an Alpine in 3rd, the other one in 6th. And then we have the 2 Ferraris in 8th and 9th. With this driver championship, we have Lewis Hamilton moved down to 1. Verstappen retakes the lead, 2 points ahead of Russell. And for the constructors now, we do gain points. Alpine gains more though. Do gain a little bit on Ferrari, but still we have a long path ahead of us. For the next race though, we should have a new underfloor, which should make us a tad more competitive, which is going to be great. But that'll have to be next stream, as I will be ending this one here. Well, the underfloor is complete, so we might as well just go through that. Let's get it manufactured before I forget. Next race is in 11 days. We can get the underfloors done for both cars for Spain, which is usually a good track. Lehtinen has 4 points, just leaving that as is for the beginning. Ford is still disappointed in us. Difficult races. They do want us up in 3rd. And we are going to develop a new car part here. We're going to develop an underfloor. Put in all of our CFD, safety wind tunnel. And the focus of this one, I think, is going to be the high speed cornering that we are currently lacking. Even with that, we're going to be third in, well, second technically, in low speed, medium speed. Same here for dirty air. We're getting a little bit better on the high speed. The top speed and acceleration are going to get a massive boost. So we're definitely gonna do this. It's gonna take 65 days. We'll get it in July. But it's gonna be worth it. We kind of need to beef up our car right now to try and catch up. In terms of calendar, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 races, I believe, before we get it. So after that, it's going to be interesting. France, Hungary, going to be good. Yeah. Let's get a bit more reactions onto Magnussen. It's leveling up. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you'll enjoy your evening, your afternoon, your morning, depending on where you live. And for those of you who watched the race, I hope your favorite driver performed well. See you all next time. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye. I hope you too have fun with the race, Ninka.